But Joe Vanderbosch also happens to be a great dentist. An Army veteran of 8 years, Dr. Joe now makes his home in Southwest Florida, where his wife Sarah grew up.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joseph Vanderbosch, Freedom Dental on Metro Parkway in Fort Myers. In the Army, I received extra training in order to provide dental care in virtually any condition. That's why I can manage many dental treatments without the need to refer to a specialist. I served my country proudly for 8 years. Now I want to serve you in your dental needs. Special discounts for former and active military without dental insurance.
Dr. Vanderbosch provides emergency care and is now accepting new patients for cleaning, extractions, crowns, implants, and more. Find them online at freedomdentalfortmyers.com. That's freedomdentalfortmyers.com. Dr. Joseph Vanderbosch. Go to freedomdentalfortmyers.com.
When was the last time you checked in on your insurance? Give CIG a chance to review your current coverage and find you better rates. Hi, this is Brian Chapman at Chapman Insurance Group. My team and I are dedicated to finding you the best suited coverage at the best rates. Give us an opportunity to quote your home, auto, business, or flood policy. I'm confident we can save you money for the same or better coverage. Qualified agents are standing by. Visit CIGFlorida.com or call an office near you today. Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Port Charlotte, and Punta Gorda. CIGFlorida.com.
Calling out political theft by the left. 92.5 WFSX Estero. Fox News. Right all along.
News. The hurricane's remnants raining down, triggering flash flooding that killed 7 people in New York City.
A 2-year-old is among the 7 people reported dead this morning. A state of emergency issued for New York as Mayor Bill de Blasio urges residents to stay off the streets. The MTA suspending nearly all trains overnight as the system deals with heavy flooding in stations.
Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer.
In New Jersey, 1 person died in floodwaters. Passaic Mayor Hector Laura said a vehicle driven by a man in his 70s was overtaken in the water. And in Maryland, flooding in Rockville, a Rockville apartment complex left a 19-year-old dead and 1 person unaccounted for.
There's also tornado damage in Annapolis, and several 100,000 homes and businesses are out of power in several Northeast states. It's nearly 1 million still with no electricity, and even harder hit Louisiana.
We don't have electricity. We don't have communication. We don't have gas.
Jefferson Parish President Cynthia Lee Sheng urging people to leave, saying it'll be a miserable few weeks with areas still flooded and a lot of damage, and it could be a long time to get the power back on. In Afghanistan, the Taliban is showing off U.S. military equipment left behind as they try to reopen the airport at the heart of a chaotic evacuation. Fox's Simon Owen has the update live.
Dave Qatar just confirmed it is working with the Taliban to reopen Kabul's airport, potentially offering a way out of Afghanistan for Americans and Afghan allies who were left behind during last month's evacuation effort. The airport has been out of action since the final U.S. flight left on Monday. Meanwhile, a video has emerged appearing to show Taliban fighters driving American military vehicles, parading in hardware left behind by either Afghan or U.S. forces. Dave?
Simon, a high school is closed today in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. The day after a student was shot to death by a gunman, also believed to be a student, now in custody. America's listening to Fox News.
When there's nothing left that makes any sense. 92.5 WFSX Estero. Fox News. Right all along.
This update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Wink News, traffic.
Good morning. Off to a crash-free start right now across Southwest Florida. Not seeing any problems up and down I-75. US 41 running up to speed as well if you'd like to head out toward the highway this morning in downtown Fort Myers. Not seeing any trouble out there. Even farther south into Naples, we're not seeing any problems along Tamiami Trail. Right now on the bridges, heading between Cape Coral and Fort Myers, running at about a 2 to 3 minute drive in each direction. Edison and Caloosahatchee bridges at very similar speeds and drive times for your morning drive in and out of downtown Fort Myers. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Teresa O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. We are getting close to that upcoming holiday weekend for your Labor Day. And as we do so, we will be looking at some higher chances for thunderstorms as we work through the remainder of this work week. Higher moisture in the atmosphere will lead to some higher chances for rain and thunderstorms beginning today. And with that more cloud cover, look for a mostly cloudy sky, which will help limit our temperatures into the mid and upper 80s for daytime highs. Things topping off near 87 degrees. We'll keep with a few more showers and perhaps some thunderstorms even as we head into later on tonight. Temperatures tomorrow morning waking up near 76 degrees, where a few showers will be possible as we kick off your Friday. An even higher chance for rain and thunderstorms for tomorrow, especially for your Friday afternoon. And we'll be looking at a high near 88 degrees, another mostly cloudy sky. As we head into the upcoming weekend, we'll keep with a daily chance for scattered thunderstorms Saturday, Sunday, and into your Labor Day, with highs bumping back into the lower 90s. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
The news you need, the host you trust, getting it right all day and all night. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
True relief for back and neck pain. Back pain, neck pain, we hear so much about it every day, but most people never understand what causes it. Very often, it is more than just sore muscles. Many times, it is caused by disc and nerve compression in the spine. This is very often not addressed. The only way to get pressure off the discs in the spine is to decompress the discs. Here at Johnson Spinal Care 596 Back, non-surgical spinal decompression is a specially designed, computerized table to provide gentle, precise pulling to draw pressure off the discs and release the nerves. This process draws blood back into the discs, allowing them to heal. Completely safe and comfortable for any age. No hanging upside down. Patients with stenosis, sciatica, bulging discs, neuropathy, scoliosis all find great, long-lasting relief with decompression. Call my Medicare-friendly office today for a free telephone consultation. Johnson Spinal Care, 596 Back. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Every day in business is a big day. Whatever your day brings, Comcast Business can help you handle it with reliable gig speeds and advanced cybersecurity solutions. Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary. Call for details.
Replace your AC today, go on a cruise tomorrow. Island Air wants to send you to the island. Matt here from Island Air of Southwest Florida with some great news.
Decisions. Do I buy an air conditioner? Do I take a vacation? For a limited time, Island Air is offering you both in one package.
Call us today to find out more details on how to claim your voucher. Call 239-466-8668.
Call 466-8668 for more details.
License number CAC 057544.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and get ready because it's time once again. This Friday, Oaks Farm Seed to Table. We do our first Friday live broadcast, and we love being out there and love seeing you there for the show, 6 to 9 a.m. They open up an hour earlier so that you can come in and enjoy some great breakfast and so much more. Maybe do some shopping while you're there as well. And you know how awesome Seed to Table is and what a great place it is to shop. We hope to see you there. Oaks Farm Seed to Table, our first Friday broadcast, 6 to 9 a.m. at the corner of Immokalee and Livingston Road in Naples. Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News.
Rockstar Harley has secured 0 down and 0% APR financing on all new Harley Davidsons. Rockstar Harley has hundreds of Harleys on site for immediate delivery. Finance experts on site to get you approved. 0 down and 0% APR on all new Harleys at Rockstar Harley. On credit and Sunday.
With each breath, allergens, germs, and viruses get trapped in your nose. Now, there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage. Available at Navage.com.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here at 239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live, drewsteele.com, the website. Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate you visiting the website to watch the program. At Drew Steele Radio on YouTube, if you want to go there directly, that's fine for the time being. And also, we have the podcast available each and every day, and thank you for subscribing to the podcast. You can go to drewsteele.com, and there you have a link to the podcast, or you could type in Drew Steele to any of your favorite podcast locations. So I'm getting word just this morning from Mike Opelka, who's in the Northeast area, who is describing what is going on, just hearing the weather report out of New York and how awful it is, and some of the video that I'm getting a chance to see and some of what he's sending me. And you wouldn't believe what's going on over there right now as he is getting ready to go watch his nephew. I'm sure he's mentioned this many times to you, his nephew, right, Riley? Right? Has he mentioned? Jake's laughing because he's probably mentioned that a few times.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Listen, how could you not be proud? I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Riley, just I know if he's
my
listening.
nephew was 7 foot tall and hit at 200 miles an hour.
Right. So just so you know, Riley Opelka, if you follow tennis, Riley Opelka is Mike Opelka's nephew. and he's almost 7 feet tall. He hits 160 plus mile an hour, 90
Crazy.
or it's crazy. Like he's constantly hitting aces, right? His serve is unbelievable, and they are talking about him as the next American hope for the future of tennis. Like he's that big a deal. He's like ranked number 30th or something. He's playing in the U.S. Open. So Mike is on his way this morning to go watch a match at the U.S. Open. He's going to take the train. Problem is, as he has described it, just so you realize this, I was hoping to have him on this morning. Tomorrow we're going to be at Oaks Farm Seed the Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee. We'll be doing a show live 6 to 9 a.m., so hope to see you there. It's going to be a busy morning. Roger Stone's going to join us. We're going to have Ben Allen, who was a finalist on The Voice. You probably heard of him. He wrote a great patriotic anthem that he's going to perform live at 8:35 tomorrow, along with some other friends that will be there to perform as well. Kind of get us into the weekend on a different note, on a patriotic note. You know, those that love the country. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot going on. So I was talking to him and making mention of the fact that I'm not sure how we're going to be able to schedule. Love to have him on today because usually he's on Fridays, and he said that he might call in this morning, but he may be on the train. The trains are still clearing tracks, and they're pumping out the tunnels. The water that the video that he's showing me on the water that is going through the tunnels and the train stations is, I can't even describe it. He said he's never seen anything like it, and he's lived in the Northeast and worked in New York City for the longest time. 15 homes destroyed by tornadoes, 15 miles from where he lives. And parts of New York City, 6 inches of water in an hour. And Queens and Brooklyn basements had what they called toilet fountains. So the water was coming through in such a way that in the basements in New York City homes, the water was coming up through the toilets like a fountain. The videos are insane. Just absolutely insane. So just giving you a little inside baseball here and keeping you up to date on everything that's going on with Mike and with tomorrow. And so hopefully he'll have a chance to join us later on this morning. We'll see, maybe at 8:35. Some other things we are watching. We're going to talk to Father Frank Pavone coming up at 7:05. Get his thoughts on what has been a wild day in Texas. Yesterday was the start of this new abortion law or anti-abortion laws, they're calling it in Texas, the heartbeat bill that was signed, and it has people apoplectic, like they don't know what to do. The pro-death crowd there. Listen, it's just what it is. I'm sorry. I don't know how you feel about abortion, but I'm just telling you there are some absolutes in life. There are 2 genders, period, full stop. Biologically, there are 2 genders, and biologically, if you take the life of a fetus, quote unquote, you're taking the life of a child. You can use any term you want. You can do anything you want, but in my eyes, it's pretty basic. But anyway, they're getting crazy, apoplectic. They don't know what to do. How did this happen? This Texas heartbeat bill is just absolute. Planned Parenthood is all over this. It didn't take long for them and a whole lot of others to rally to figure out how they're going to respond to this. I thought Planned Parenthood was it's just about women's health. That's what it is. It's a little more than that. So we're going to talk about that coming up. This law going into effect, people freaking out. And what does it actually mean? And what does it do? And how have they done this? And the specifics of it, because this may be the model, everybody, for what we will see moving forward in this country. This was the way that you were going to get, let's say, Roe v. Wade, or at least abortion, up to the Supreme Court to make a decision finally on what we are going to do in this country. And as many have said, to make it up to the states and to allow the people to decide what they want to do, and to revisit Roe v. Wade as bad law. Doesn't make a difference what you think about it on one side or the other. We're talking about the law, Roe v. Wade, how it came about, and whether or not it is bad law, and whether or not it needs to be gone over once or twice, and to have a court decide once and for all, finally. We're going to see. because people are just going crazy. So we're going to talk about that coming up. But also, we can do a lot of different things. Oh, hey, the governor was here in Southwest Florida yesterday. Everybody in the newsroom was freaking out yesterday. They all wanted to know what we knew. Right? Jake is laughing about this too. They're like, the governor's going to be here at 11 o'clock in the morning. Why is he coming here? And Jake's like, we didn't know. We knew at the same time you knew. Why is he coming? What's he going to talk about? Well, I don't know. What is he going to talk about? We're going to find out all together what he's going to talk about. And what he talked about was pretty important. They did come in, right? They were. Poor
Jake. They come to us for stuff.
Yeah, they always do. Poor Jake. I could see through the glass on the other side of the wall. You know, he's got the glass there, and I could see through the other side of the glass that they kept coming in and tapping him on the shoulder, and he's looking, and I could see his hands going up like, I don't know what to tell you. We don't know anything either. But the governor was here talking about monoclonal antibodies, but there are very, very important things that he brought up that have to be answered. And I'm sorry, it's not about your feelings on vaccines or not vaccines or masks or not masks. You know, these are your personal decisions made between you and your family, your doctor, your decisions. You know you better than anybody else does and your comorbidities and the like. And you've probably done a lot of homework with regard to what the vaccine is and what it isn't, what monoclonal antibodies are and are not. Maybe you didn't even know about monoclonal antibodies. But the fact is this. We need an answer from Lee Health, NCH, a lot of hospitals around the state. How much is being done ahead of time to make sure that people don't end up in hospital? How much is being done and what kind of therapies are being given to individuals who clearly you don't want in the hospitals for obvious reasons? I mean, certainly you want people to get better. You don't want to flood the hospitals with people and take up bed space and tell everybody that you don't have the space, and it is a horrible thing, and it is. But how much are you doing ahead of time to prevent it? There are therapies that have been out there for over a year that we know work, like monoclonal antibodies. And I want to know how many hospitals, well, it's not FDA approved. Well, hold on a second. It's emergency use. It's EUA. You could do that. How much have you done? How much has been done to make sure that when people leave hospital, it's not like, listen, take a couple of vitamins and feel better, okay? Good luck. When there are people who could have had therapies ahead of time and saved lives and stop them from flooding hospitals to begin with. I have many people that I know, numerous people that I know who have had the vid, took a therapy outside, whether it was ivermectin or whether it was hydroxychloroquine or whether it was a monoclonal antibody, and a couple of days, they're fine. Absolutely fine. Now, it's anecdotal. It's not indicative of every single person, but the fact of the matter is that there are knowns and there are unknowns. And the knowns are the efficacy of what these therapies can do, and whether or not it is something that you say, oh, well, we don't, the ivermectin, don't go out and take the horse pills. Well, hold on a second. It's an antiparasitic. If you have, tapeworm, ringworm, whatever it is, these are the kind of drugs that a human being takes. Don't make it sound like humans don't take ivermectin. Well, nobody knows its effectiveness, the efficacy. It hasn't been tested. Well, it's been tested globally. There have been people that have been given it, and there are studies outside of the United States. Are we looking at any of them? We can't look at those. Why not? Monoclonal antibodies. Why are we not talking? It took the governor stepping up to get something done with monoclonal antibodies where people are in the state like, I had no idea it doesn't cost me anything either. Really? Kind of like the vaccine. And it's 70 to 85% effective to make sure that I don't end up in hospital. I mean, as far as hospitalization or death, 70 to 85%. Hey, that efficacy sounds almost familiar, almost like the vaccine. So why am I not doing that? Oh, but we can't do that. Well, why? And why hasn't that been an option for the longest time? Period, full stop. Like, if you get it, here it is. And it's paid for. So it's frustrating, but we'll play that audio coming up. And then, of course, we can walk and chew gum at the same time. And on the heels of the report that we have all heard about, again, where if you're trying to find an impeachable offense on a phone call that is not perfectly fine, it's Joe Biden's phone call that Reuters reported on, where Democrat President Joe Biden pressured Afghan President Ashraf Ghani during a July phone call. July, look at your dates, look at your calendars, July, to make false claims about the nation's fight against the Taliban. In the call, Biden offered aid if Ghani would publicly project that he had a plan to control the spiraling situation in Afghanistan, continue to provide close air support if we know what the plan is, Biden said. In much of the call, Biden focused on what he called Afghan government's perception problem. Quote, I need not tell you the perception around the world and in parts of Afghanistan, I believe, is that things are not going well in terms of the fight against the Taliban, unquote. Biden said, and quote, there's a need, whether it's true or not, there's a need to project a different picture. Also, sure sounds quid pro quo Joe. On the call, Ghani reportedly said that he was facing, quote, full-scale invasion composed of Taliban, full Pakistani planning and logistical support, and at least 10 to 15,000 international terrorists, predominantly Pakistanis, thrown into this. And when the call happened, the Taliban had already seized control of approximately half the country's district centers. So Biden knew exactly what was going on. Knew exactly what was going on. And there is word about even to be able to supply of funding and support in exchange for this. That's certainly something that sure sounds like quid pro quo Joe, not a joke.
Not a joke.
And it also sounds like something that could be impeachable. I know there are some that say, no, it's not impeachable. Like Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell who said, we're not going to go after this president. We're not going to do this. And Mitch McConnell, you can always depend on Mitch McConnell to not be there and not show up. Man, is he predictable? Why would he do that? Well, it's obvious why Mitch McConnell would say something like that. Oh, because this is something we got to tuck in our back pocket because, we don't want to get rid of Joe Biden right now. And as a matter of fact, if we do and we get into this battle, we may not win this battle. And then ultimately, politically, we're going to have a problem 3.5 years from now. And we really want to have... No. We're talking about right now and the safety and security of the country. These are national security issues. And what are you going to do? You're going to tuck this away in your back pocket because you're waiting for the right political moment? No. That's not how it works. That's not how people want it to work, certainly. I mean, is that what you really think? I mean, I hope that's not the case. But why Republicans always seem like, well, no, we're not going to go after impeachment when there are impeachable offenses across the board that everybody sees. And somehow Republicans are always like, no, we're above board. Yeah, it's time to get down below board because when you're above board and when you're somebody who's trying to take the high road, the left, the Marxists, the socialists, the Democrats, they're going to bash you to no end. There's no you taking the high road where the media is going to go, well, look at Mitch McConnell and the Republicans. They take the high road. We should have... No, it doesn't work that way. So Jen Psaki asked about this report. Oh, she's not talking about it.
Tell us a little bit more about that call. Well, I'm not going to get into private diplomatic conversations or leaked transcripts of phone calls. But what I can reiterate for you is that we have stated many times that no one anticipated, the vast majority, I should say, there may have been individuals and agencies, so I don't want to eliminate that option, but our national security team and no one in Congress, or I would say most people out in the public anticipated that the Taliban would be able to take over the country.
Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah, lots of people did. Lots of people said it for the longest time. Lots of people knew it before. As a matter of fact, Mark Meadows, when you go back to our podcast, or if you wait just a couple of minutes because we had an interview with the former White House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, for President 45 for Donald Trump. We're going to replay that interview from yesterday. The plan that they had, they knew that if they didn't have the right plan in place, that it was going to implode. And the suggestion that this White House had no idea, again, this whole pivot is ridiculous from Jen Psaki.
I just want to put a pin in that report. Was the president in any way pushing a false narrative in that call with the Afghan president?
I think it's pretty clear. Again, I'm not going to go into details of a private conversation, but what we saw...
Yeah, let me just stop. She's not going to go into private conversations at all with this president, right? She's not going to do this. Although when it was President Trump, in a tweet back in 2019, September to be exact, what did she say? Quote, it's not just the call transcript, talking about the Ukrainian call. The whistleblower complaint would likely have more details. We need both and not just the call. Right, so she was more than happy back then to get the call, to get the transcripts, to get the whistleblower, to get everything that they needed to go after President Trump for a perfectly fine phone call, which we learned that it was. But no. In this case, we're not going to give details. Private conversations. No. It doesn't work that way. But they're continuing to do this. So we'll see. That's not going to go away. Look, Afghanistan, as much as Democrats, you listening, the one thing that is so important in this discussion is this is not going away. You're not going to be able to spin this and spin out of this to the next a big story as the major media outlets have already done. The fake news legacy media outlets. You already had CBS and others who yesterday spent all day on the Texas heartbeat bill and how awful this is, and all the pro-abortion people, all the pro-death people out there who are beside themselves. They don't know what to do now. How can this possibly be? It's got to go to the Supreme Court. We got to stop this until they find out they can't. We'll explain why in a little bit. But that's where they're going. They're trying to flip the narrative now. Get out of this. You're not going to. We're not going to let you. This is not going away. The lives that were lost, the people that were left behind, the national security issues of vetting individuals and who now is here in this country and the security issues there. None of this is going away. It's just not. All right, quickly, just a call here. Jason's in Naples. Hey, Jason.
Hey, good morning, Drew. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
Real quick, you had mentioned about the emergency use authorizations, and the biggest reason that they didn't explore therapeutics is because you couldn't get an emergency use authorization for a vaccine if there were approved treatments. So if you have an approved treatment, then you can't get the emergency use authorization, which is why they support them. I mean, it honestly, it's criminal that they didn't, because by not pursuing therapeutics, they cost lives.
Yeah, and I think that's an absolute. I think that's not hyperbolic. I think it's an absolute. If there are people in this country, if there are doctors, if there are heads of the NIH or anybody else, CDC, go right down the line, if there are epidemiologists, anyone, and across the globe, who knew that there were therapies that were available and have been available for the past 18 months, and we're not going to make it available because of this push towards a vaccine as the only way to go, and lives were lost because of it, I don't know where else you go, Jason. I don't know what else you can possibly say. I mean, these questions need to be answered. Why it takes a governor to have 21 places to go here in the state for monoclonal antibodies where people are getting this infusion and are not going to hospital, are getting better, and this hasn't been done sooner, and it takes a governor to do this. And the question is why others have not pushed this as well, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Here's the one thing. Always follow the money.
Yeah, well, it's not fun. It's not fun.
No.
Yeah. All right. Well, Jason, I appreciate the call there. We'll talk about this more coming up. Stay break 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
92.5 Fox News. Right.
This
all
Fox
along.
Business Report is presented by Island Air. High-quality AC repair and installation. Online at islandairfl.com. Online at islandairefl.com.
And this is the Fox Business Report.
Hurricane Ida may cost insurers $18 billion. And that's not counting the damage Ida's remnants are causing in the mid-Atlantic and Northeast. That estimate's based on models from Karen Clark and Company. In 2 weeks, Florida will start issuing $5,000 fines to businesses, schools, and government agencies that require people to show proof of COVID vaccination. Meantime, a national survey by the firm Willis Towers Watson shows 52% of companies will require employees to get vaccinated by the end of the year. The surge in COVID cases prompting Paramount Pictures to postpone the release of Top Gun Maverick. The Tom Cruise film is now slated to open Memorial Day weekend next year. And the NASDAQ kicks off September by closing at a record high. I'm Carmen Roberts. That's your Fox Business Report, invested in you.
Ever purchased an online item and either it doesn't fit, has missing parts, or became damaged? Trying to save a few bucks can end up costing more. My Shower Door is a locally owned and operated family business that measures, manufactures, and installs our own brand of frameless shower doors right here in Southwest Florida. And we were just named Lee County's Manufacturer of the Year. With almost 80,000 shower doors installed, we have the experience and expertise. Plus, estimates are always free. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
Hello, I'm Dave Harmer, owner of First Class Air Conditioning. Since 1977, we've been pretty selective when it comes to hiring new people. We take special pride in the craftsmen we train and employ. If you're an experienced HVAC professional, consider joining us. With a 40-year track record, we're here for the long haul. Call today, 574-2500, and ask for Mr. Harmer. That's 574-2500.
First Class Air Conditioning. Our name says it all.
There are a lot of sales Labor Day weekend, but only Sutherland has the deals. Sutherland's deals not just save you money, they give you money too. With an extra $6,000 overbook value for your trade, that's $6,000 more than your car is worth. Use the additional $6,000 as a down payment, or just keep the extra money. Shop the largest certified pre-owned dealer in the country. Nobody has more than Sutherland, because Sutherland has the deals. Just announced through Labor Day Monday. Buy any new Nissan and get a $1,000 Visa gift card. We have the selection, we have the savings, and we give you a $1,000 Visa gift card. Combine that with an extra $6,000 for your trade, and it's up to $7,000 in extra money for you. This Labor Day weekend only, as Florida's #1, Sutherland has the deals. Hurry to Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, your used car megastore. If you don't shop Sutherland, you'll pay too much.
See dealer for details.
Encore Luxury Cabinets and Design staff have been designing award-winning kitchens and baths for nearly 50 years. Now Encore is proud to offer Foster Appliances, a sophisticated line of chef-grade handmade Italian products just perfect for the home chef and all of us. Encore Luxury Cabinets and Design is proud to be a select area dealer for these hand-built appliances that are in many ways superior to other brand-name high-end cooking appliances. Since 1975, Foster has created top-of-the-line cooktops, ovens, ranges, hoods, sinks, and faucets for residential and commercial use. Their attention to detail and unique accessories enhance the cooking experience, making them a preferred supplier to luxury resorts such as the Ritz-Carlton. Call Encore at 239-331-5287 to schedule a demonstration at their expanded Naples showroom, or visit EncoreCabinetDesign.com for inspirational cabinet designs and appliances for your new home or remodeling project.
They were fathers and mothers, sons and daughters, sisters and brothers. This is Trey Radel from 92.5 Fox News. 20 years ago, on 9/11, 2,977 perished. In their honor, in their memory, 92.5 Fox News will place one flag for each of their souls to create a field of flags in downtown Naples, starting next week on 92.5 Fox News.
Great news, Southwest Florida. Matt and Justin here with Island Air.
Over the past year and a half, we know that many people have sacrificed their vacations.
We know that replacing your air conditioning system is a stressful purchase. Usually it's something that you didn't plan on, very inconvenient, always seems to happen at the worst time, and we were trying to find a way to ease that burden.
Decisions. Do I buy an air conditioner? Do I take a vacation? For a limited time, Island Air is offering you both in one package.
Call Island Air and get that outdated system replaced, and included with your purchase, you will get a vacation voucher of your choosing.
It's your choice with a qualified purchase of a cruise or condo resort voucher. You can choose 4,500 different resort options, 106 countries around the world.
A vacation can be yours with the purchase of a new air conditioning system. Call us today to find out more details on how to claim your voucher for a limited time. Call 239-466-8668.
Call 466-8668 for more details.
License number CAC 057544.
Wink News Traffic.
Good morning. Heading out right now through the Northern Cape. We have a crash on Del Prado Boulevard at Dana Navarro Parkway, not too far off of US 41. So watch out for some activity and slight delays at that intersection. EMS checking for injuries with that crash right now. 75 not looking too bad. 41 running up to speed. If you're heading through 6 Mile Cypress Parkway, we're noticing already this morning they're opening the gates to the CenturyLink Sports Complex COVID-19 testing site early this morning. So you may start to notice notice some volume building up, especially on southbound 6 Mile Cypress Parkway right near Hammond Stadium. Aside from that, heading through South Fort Myers, looking clear along Cypress Lake Drive. McGregor Boulevard getting a little busy right around College Parkway and crossing the Caloosahatchee, Edison, Cape Coral, and Midpoint Bridges, all taking about 2 to 3 minutes in each direction. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Teresa O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. We are getting close to that upcoming holiday weekend for your Labor Day. And as we do so, we will be looking at some higher chances for thunderstorms as we work through the remainder of this work week. Higher moisture in the atmosphere will lead to some higher chances for rain and thunderstorms beginning today. And with that more cloud cover, look for a mostly cloudy sky, which will help limit our temperatures into the mid and upper 80s for daytime highs, things topping off near 87 degrees. We'll keep with a few more showers and perhaps some thunderstorms even as we head into later on tonight. Temperatures tomorrow morning wake up near 76 degrees, where a few showers will be possible as we kick off your Friday. An even higher chance for rain and thunderstorms for tomorrow, especially for your Friday afternoon. And we'll be looking at a high near 88 degrees, another mostly cloudy sky. As we head into the upcoming weekend, we'll keep with a daily chance for scattered thunderstorms Saturday, Sunday, and into your Labor Day, with highs bumping back into the lower 90s. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
When listening to the radio in your car, remember to always drive on the right side of the road. Keep it here on 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
When was the last time you checked in on your insurance? Give CIG a chance to review your current coverage and find you better rates. Hi, this is Brian Chapman at Chapman Insurance Group. My team and I are dedicated to finding you the best suited coverage at the best rates. Give us an opportunity to quote your home, auto, business, or flood policy. I'm confident we can save you money for the same or better coverage. Qualified agents are standing by. Visit CIGFlorida.com or call an office near you today. Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Port Charlotte, and Punta Gorda. CIGFlorida.com.
It's Kaylee Kobe with your Kobe Coin Tip of the Day. I may only be a kid, but I'm smart enough to know not to fall for those cheap clean and check offers. I know you can't get a real AC mechanic for $30. Don't fall for the bait and switch ads. Your air conditioner would tell you to only use Nate certified mechanics for service, like my dad at Kobe Cooling, real service and real mechanics, not flake clean and tune salesmen. Call Kobe Cooling at 239-482-1542. Again, at 239-482-1542. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense, no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CAC 057313. Kobe, the most trusted name in the business since 1949.
Hey, this is Papa, reporting that we're still getting a lot of calls from homeowners who were told they needed a new re-roof after Irma. Most of these folks had a few broken tiles that are obsolete. Our company has 2 warehouses filled with the older obsolete tiles that have never been used. If you think that you may not need a new re-roof, but only need to replace some obsolete tile, please call me for our free tile roof inspection. We may be able to repair and seal your roof to make it look new and beautiful, a lot cheaper than replacing the entire roof. If you call me for our free inspection, we'll place you on our proactive list, and in the event of another hurricane, you won't have to go searching for a contractor because we will automatically call you to see if you need assistance. Let me show you how we can clean and seal and protect your roof, pavers, and pool decks. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Carrie, and Cody, call us at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. We're open 24/7, and you can call us right now for a free tile roof inspection. License number CCC 1326213.
Hey yo, goodbye, pets, I'll see you later. Go National Exterminators.
Exterminators at 239-46-NO-BUG or visit them online at pestcontrolmadeeasy.com for all your pest control needs. Bugs, termites, rodents, and even attic insulation. Better service, better prices, and no contracts.
Hey yo, goodbye, pets, I'll see you later. Go National Exterminators. $46 to get a rodents and bugs. 239-46-NO-BUG. Kill it!
Call the boys at National Exterminators at 239-46-NO-BUG or visit them online at pestcontrolmadeeasy.com for all your pest control needs. Bugs, termites, rodents, and even attic insulation. Better service, better prices, and no contracts.
Introducing the Fpl Energy Manager, a new way to take control of your energy use and your bill.
Experienced, Dr. David C. Brown's Eye Centers of Florida has conducted many FDA studies since 1971, including the first to perform laser cataract surgery, multifocal lens for cataracts, HD lens for distance clarity and accuracy, genetic screening for macular degeneration, the studies for implantable contact lenses, and dozens more. A world of better vision is right here in Southwest Florida. Dr. David C. Brown's Eye Centers of Florida, clearly the right choice.
It's Glenn Beck, 9 till noon. You've come to the right place. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
239-479-5592, the talk and text line. In just a minute, if you missed the interview from yesterday, former White House Chief of Staff for President Trump, Mark Meadows, joined us to talk about everything that is going on with this administration and the border, and a lot to get to in just a second. By the way, a couple of other things that are popping. We're going to talk about the governor's visit to Southwest Florida yesterday, where he was talking about monoclonal antibodies and asking some of the questions that we've all been asking, certainly when it comes to the questions of whether or not we have been good about doing something with regard to therapies, as he said yesterday.
And, I think that most of the bad outcomes we've seen have been in patients who either did not avail of the prevention or did not avail themselves of the early treatment. And again, the early treatment was not something that was discussed a lot. There's a lot of people that didn't know about it. So we've helped bring it to the forefront and now have more folks that have been benefiting. And, at the end of the day, that's what it's about. If you have somebody, particularly if somebody's high risk, and you get infected, okay, what do you do at that point? And there's been a lot of parts of the country, they'll just send you home and tell you, just hope it doesn't get worse.
Just hope it doesn't get worse. He's right. I know 3 people right now that I can speak of directly. 3 people that I know over the age of 70 did not get a vaccine, got the vid, taken monoclonal antibodies, are absolutely fine right now. Didn't go to hospital. It didn't get outrageous when it comes to their symptoms. They're fine. And even Dr. Fauci said,
trials have demonstrated that early treatment with anti-SARS-CoV-2 monoclonal antibodies can reduce the risk of COVID-19 hospitalization or death by 70 to 85%.
So again, I asked the question with Dr. Fauci on board, with others seeing the Regeneron monoclonal antibodies and others, have they been used effectively by hospitals, by doctors, when somebody gets a positive test? Have they been used properly? Have they been used at all? The therapies are important, and they're part of this. Unless, of course, it's really all about the vaccine and getting vaccinated, and then that's the only way, which it's not. So again, if you're anti-vax, pro-vax, that's not where I'm. Either way, whatever you want to do, get vaccinated. Don't get vaccinated, mask, no. It's really your choice. And again, it's a personal decision, especially considering when there are so many other things out there. Oh, and there's also a study that everybody's clinging to right now that has to do with mask mandates, and a big study that was made that people are saying, oh, we finally have it. We've got the big mask mandate study that we're looking for. And but wait a minute. There's more to the story. I know we'll talk about that in just a little bit. Okay, all right. It's not dramatic. yesterday. By the way, 239-479-5592, the talk and text line streaming live at drewsteele.com, the website you can watch and you can listen to the podcast and subscribe to the podcast by going to drewsteele.com and clicking on the subscribe button. There you can listen even to yesterday's interview, if you missed it, with Mark Meadows, former White House Chief of Staff for President Trump. And yesterday we talked about right away his thoughts on everything that's going on with the Biden administration and Joe Biden, and certainly talking about how this pullout in Afghanistan was just a success and his thoughts on that.
Well, I mean, when he came out and said it was an extraordinary success, I can tell you that the anger, not just here in Florida, but the anger from coast to coast by Americans who saw this unfold, an event that could have been avoided. And the reason I say it could have been avoided, I can tell you when we were in the White House, the kind of withdrawal that Joe Biden just executed had been put forth, and we turned it down. We said, no, we can't leave Americans behind. We need to make sure that we get all the Americans out before the military leave. We shouldn't leave our equipment there. We put conditions on that, and you know what? We held the Taliban at bay when they wanted to advance. So it was an extraordinary failure, an extraordinarily poorly executed extraction plan, and ultimately an embarrassment, not just here in the United States, but abroad, because we abandoned Americans, we abandoned our Afghan allies, and we abandoned our allies in the European Union as well. And sadly, 13 great soldiers had to pay the ultimate sacrifice for this blunder at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Yeah, it's unbelievable what has transpired. As again, we all witness it, we see it. You can't deny it, as much as people want to try to gaslight in a different direction and convince you it's a success and talk about other numbers when they can't even give you the numbers of the amount of Americans that are there. The suggestion that even if it were 100, that is an acceptable number is, again, an outrage to a lot of people. Go ahead.
Well, Drew, it's more than that.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, I mean, for them to suggest that there's only 100, I'm getting reports from members of Congress, getting reports from people who have loved ones that are stuck in country, hiding in country. And to be honest, they don't know. And that's the problem. The people they did know about, they actually gave their information to the Taliban. And, you don't give information, private information, to somebody that you've been fighting for 2 decades. I mean, anybody would know that. And quite frankly, it is incompetence at the highest level that would suggest that was a good plan. I mean, they started sharing intel with the Taliban. They asked the Taliban to actually provide security. And what do we see from the Taliban this morning? We see pictures of mock funerals happening there in Afghanistan, where they're actually celebrating the death of our military. It's almost too much to take.
Yeah, Mark Meadows joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, former White House Chief of Staff to President Trump and former congressman. You know, there's a couple of things I did want to get to. I guess first I'll get to this. You spent enough time with President Trump. There's no way, and everybody has said it, he has talked about it, and maybe you can make mention of this specifically if you have some specifics you can share. There's no way that he was ever going to let it get this far. No way. Where it was a deal going to be made where if once something was said, something was written, that once it was violated, that they would not be harsh consequences to the point where walking away from it was an option, or was it? I mean, can you speak to that directly as to what?
I'll speak to that directly. Directly here, we obviously had a plan to get out of Afghanistan. The President Trump wanted to do that. We could have gotten out in the way that Joe Biden exited, and we could have done that last year. We could have done that in September or October. But President Trump said, listen, the conditions are not met. And he was very clear that the conditions had not been met. We actually reduced troops from 4,500 down to 2,500, but the Taliban kept advancing. And when they would advance, we would actually send in our great military air support for the Afghan army. We would push them back, and because of that, we knew that ultimately it was going to have to be a government sharing proposition between the Afghans and the Taliban, and those conditions were never met. And so for Joe Biden to say, well, this was a deal that Donald Trump struck that I had to go forward with, it's just not accurate. Yeah. Now, we know that he tears up all kinds of other deals, right. But I can tell you, being in the room, there were conditions that we placed on them. Those conditions had not been met. Those conditions still are not met. And so to suggest that just a full-out retreat was in the cards, that's not accurate.
Right.
He knows it. General Milley knows it.
Yep.
Secretary Pompeo knows it. President Trump and I know it, and ultimately Joe Biden knows that.
Right. Yeah, the suggestion that Joe Biden somehow saintly is going to look at something that the former president did and said, oh, I'm going to stick with everything that the former president put out there and signed off on. I might look at the border and say, well, there is that example among many others that we could give where you were more than happy to walk away from something that you would see that the former president did successfully. But now all of a sudden something changed. It's laughable on its face.
Well, Drew, you're exactly right. He did it 43 times in the first 30 days in office, right, where he actually reversed something that President Trump had done. But listen, it's not only that he reversed it, but at the border, he reversed it. He went to court. He went back to court and went back to court again to try to get his way. And so to suggest somehow that his hands were tied here, it's just not accurate. It's nothing more than a direct false statement to the American people.
So when you hear the words impeachment, impeachable offense, people resigning, they should resign. Many people have asked for resignations from Milley and among others. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, we have to push forward with that. Let me just listen. You have 13 soldiers that lost their life because of a direct action of the President of the United States. If that's not an impeachable offense, I'm not sure what is. Yeah. But more importantly than that, General Milley, Secretary Austin should have been giving their best military advice. So one of two things happened. Either they should resign because they didn't give the best military advice, or they did give the best military advice, and candidly it was ignored. So you can't have it both ways. There has to be accountability. I do believe that General Milley and Secretary Austin, along with the General McKenzie, actually executed a plan that they knew was going to fail and that they knew would have the great potential for casualties.
Mark Meadows joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, the former White House chief of staff for President Trump and former congressman. You know, a couple of other things. I mentioned the border. You know, I cannot tell you how many people I talk to. Our Congressman Byron Donalds has been down there on numerous occasions. We've talked about this, the concerns about that when you don't hear about something in the news, when it's not front page headlines, it doesn't mean it's gone away. It doesn't mean it's stopped. And now more concerned than ever that not only do we have the issues along the border that we've been talking about for months and months, but now we also have our security, our safety and security at stake as well. Can you speak to that a little bit, your concerns about the border crisis?
Yeah, well, so there's a couple of concerns, and you mentioned your congressman, and I know that you don't do that in a partisan way, but let me just tell you, your congressman, one of the brightest freshman members that has ever come to the halls of Congress. Even the other day, as a lot of this stuff was unfolding and there were different narratives, the congressman got on the phone with me and we had a lengthy chat about what was happening, what were the conditions of Afghanistan. He wanted to know what the real story was before he actually went out to speak about it. I wish more members would do that. But not only has he done that, but he was at the southern border. I can tell you that there are three real concerns. One is we have more people coming across our southern border with human trafficking, with drug cartels, and candidly coming across in unprecedented numbers that we have not seen in decades. And so to suggest that you can have a secure country with that, you just can't. Here's the other issue. is because of what we've done in Afghanistan. Our enemies are going to see that this is a welcome mat for terrorists coming across. We will see activity. People don't realize Hezbollah is very active in Latin America, and so to see them come across and have a very porous open border, it's very troubling. And listen, it would have been much easier just to go ahead and work on our asylum laws, make sure that we continue the border wall there and had a merit-based immigration system. But this makes all of that have to go away. You literally, when you have hundreds of thousands of people pouring across each and every day, you can't put forth meaningful immigration laws to actually address it because you've got a crisis there. It's a crisis that will only continue to grow. And America's a great place. Everybody wants to be here, certainly because of the prosperity that the American dream offers. But there's a legal way to do that, and candidly, and Biden has endorsed the illegal way.
Yeah, and even some on the left have mentioned in the media about how there are Afghan women handing us their children. They do that for a reason, and
Sure.
and their concerns as well. And certainly people see that. All of this is on display, and the concerns that, and maybe this will be the last question I ask because I know you're busy and you've got to run, but it's this. You know, the concern that I have, and I've talked to friends about this, how people view us overseas, what they're thinking about us. I want people to know, and I say this all the time, this administration is not indicative of the United States, the citizens of this country. I really, in my heart, truly, honestly believe that this administration is antithetical to what really the majority of Americans believe and feel and think. And so when I hear of other countries are looking at us and what this administration did, I hope that they can separate the administration from the people. I hope that makes sense.
Well, it does make sense because the people, when you not just here in Southwest Florida, but the people that are listening in right now, there are people in pockets across the country that represent just the heart and soul of who we are as Americans. Strong on the rule of law, strong on sticking by your allies, strong on making sure that those who are vulnerable, that you actually reach out a helping hand. But at the same time, you don't leave your friends, your citizens, your allies alone. You stand with them. And candidly, the message that's being sent, Drew, and you're exactly right, the message that's being sent is not indicative of who we are as an American people. We've done a lot of damage. The last few weeks have really been a crisis flashpoint for our reputation internationally. The American people will be able to restore it, and certainly as we hold people accountable, they will see that America still is that bright and shining city on the hill.
No doubt. Mark Meadows joining us on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. All right, all the best, sir. Thank you so much.
Take care.
92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Rockstar Harley has secured 0 down and 0% APR financing on all new Harley Davidsons. Rockstar Harley has hundreds of Harleys on site for immediate delivery. Finance experts on site to get you approved. 0 down and 0% APR on all new Harleys at Rockstar Harley. On credit and Sunday.
Word. A really dirty word. Cover your kids' ears. Ready? Plumber. Hi, I'm Rob Hill of Bob Hill Plumbing. I'm not sure why plumber is a dirty word. I like to think of myself as a respectful, clean, and honest plumber. In fact, I'm proud to say that Bob Hill Plumbing is one of the oldest businesses in Naples. My dad founded Bob Hill Plumbing in 1952. I instilled the same tradition and values as he had back in the 50s. I dare you to find that in the chuck in a truck world. Everyone has an AC guy or an electrical guy, but a plumber? If you need plumbing services, I invite you to call me today, and I'll prove to you that we've cleaned up the word plumber. See, even the radio guy stopped beeping me out. Bob Hill Plumbing. Let me be your plumbing guy.
To schedule service, call Bob Hill Plumbing at 262-6119 or go to bobhillplumbing.com.
100% organic food and thought.
We live in a fast-paced, fast food world.
Meanwhile, people have gotten sicker. We've lost our connection to the earth, to our food, and where it comes from. Food and Thought in Naples is an oasis where people can reconnect to their food and where it comes from. It's not just a grocery store, it's a lifestyle.
100% organic food and thought.
You tired of living with chronic pain, knee pain, joint pain? Well, listen carefully because now there are new treatments available here. I'm not talking about surgery or steroids. There are regenerative treatments from the medical professionals at QC Kinetics. Hey, it's Drew Steele from Daybreak talking about QC Kinetics. They're the leader in these exciting biological therapies that help restore and repair damaged tissue in your joints with lasting results. If you've got pain in your knees, shoulders, hip, or back, joint pain that won't go away, you need to check out these new treatments with astonishing patient satisfaction reports. They can actually help your body restore and repair itself with no downtime, no drugs, no surgery. Call now to schedule your free consultation at QC Kinetics, 239-893-PAIN. Tired of dealing with your joint pain? Want to get moving again? You need to learn more about how biologic therapies are changing the way we think about dealing with joint pain. It's exciting stuff. Don't wait. Call today. QC Kinetics, 239-893-PAIN. That's 239-893-PAIN. 239-893-PAIN.
You'd think an Army veteran with a military career including multiple combat deployments throughout the Middle East would be a great American. And you'd be right. But Joe Vanderbosch also happens to be a great dentist. An Army veteran of 8 years, Dr. Joe now makes his home in Southwest Florida, where his wife Sarah grew up.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joseph Vanderbosch, Freedom Dental on Metro Parkway in Fort Myers. In the Army, I received extra training in order to provide dental care in virtually any condition. That's why I can manage many dental treatments without the need to refer to a specialist. I served my country proudly for 8 years. Now I want to serve you in your dental needs. Special discounts for former and active military without dental insurance.
Dr. Vanderbosch provides emergency care and is now accepting new patients for cleaning, extractions, crowns, implants, and more. Find them online at freedomdentalfortmyers.com. That's freedomdentalfortmyers.com. Dr. Joseph Vanderbosch. Go to freedomdentalfortmyers.com.
We're so glad you set your radio right here. 92.5 WFSX Estero. Fox News. Right all along.
The storm that used to be a hurricane wreaks more havoc. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. 7 people are dead in New York City after Ida's remnants rained down, triggering flash floods. Fox's Tanya J. Powers live in New York.
Dave, major flooding left some New York City streets unpassable as water poured into train stations, bringing a halt to subway service. The National Weather Service declared its first ever set of flash flood emergencies for the region. They say more than 3 inches of rain was recorded in Central Park in 1 hour last night. That surpassed the almost 2 inches Tropical Storm Henri brought last month. It was believed to be a record. New York's governor has declared a state of emergency, as has New Jersey's, where a tornado was confirmed just outside Philadelphia. At least 1 death has been reported in New Jersey when someone became trapped in their submerged car. Dave.
Telling you, the tornado also did damage in Annapolis, Maryland, and a man died in flooding in Rockville. Several 100,000 homes in several Northeast states lost power. Nearly 1 million remain in the dark in Louisiana, where Ida did a lot more damage, and there's still flooding.
People are hot. We know it. We know that people are tired.
New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell. Republicans want more answers after the Afghanistan withdrawal and evacuation chaos about a July phone call between President Biden and then Afghan President Ghani.
According to a transcript of the call obtained by Reuters, Biden said to Ghani, "I need not tell you the perception around the world and in parts of Afghanistan, I believe, is that things are not going well in terms of the fight against the Taliban. And there is a need, whether it is true or not, to project a different picture."
Fox's Doug Luzader. The U.S. Supreme Court has refused to block Texas's new law banning most abortions after 6 weeks of pregnancy, though the appeals continue, as Chief Justice John Roberts made clear.
Writing the court's order is, quote, emphatic in making clear that it cannot be understood as sustaining the constitutionality of the law at issue.
Fox's Sean Langell. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Wink News, traffic.
Good morning. Dealing with a crash along I-75 southbound off to the side of the interstate near the Immokalee Road exit. So watch out for troopers on scene along with those vehicles involved. Just use extra caution and make sure you stay over to the left and center lanes if you can. Also seeing another crash in the Buckingham area of Lee County, right near Hickory Swamp Preserve on Peace Road, just west of Buckingham Road. Deputies heading to that scene right now. And a crash at Maida Lane and Gladiolus Drive in South Fort Myers. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Teresa O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. We are getting close to that upcoming holiday weekend for your Labor Day. And as we do so, we will be looking at some higher chances for thunderstorms as we work through the remainder of this work week. Higher moisture in the atmosphere will lead to some higher chances for rain and thunderstorms beginning today. And with that more cloud cover, look for a mostly cloudy sky, which will help limit our temperatures into the mid and upper 80s for daytime highs, things topping off near 87 degrees. We'll keep with a few more showers and perhaps some thunderstorms even as we head into later on tonight. Temperatures tomorrow morning waking up near 76 degrees, where a few showers will be possible as we kick off your Friday. An even higher chance for rain and thunderstorms for tomorrow, especially for your Friday afternoon. And we'll be looking at a high near 88 degrees, another mostly cloudy sky. As we head into the upcoming weekend, we'll keep with a daily chance for scattered thunderstorms Saturday, Sunday, and into your Labor Day, with highs bumping back into the lower 90s. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Leftists make you fret? Check out rightallalong.net, the new web home for 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and get ready because it's time once again. This Friday, Oaks Farm Seed to Table. We do our first Friday live broadcast, and we love being out there and love seeing you there for the show, 6 to 9 a.m. They open up an hour earlier so that you can come in and enjoy some great breakfast and so much more. Maybe do some shopping while you're there as well. And you know how awesome Seed to Table is and what a great place it is to shop. We hope to see you there. Oaks Farm Seed to Table, our first Friday broadcast, 6 to 9 a.m. at the corner of Immokalee and Livingston Road in Naples. Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News.
O'Reilly. It's O Rewards Member Appreciation Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts, where you can earn double, triple, even up to 5 times O Rewards points on select purchases. Get bonus points on more than 200 items throughout the store, like wiper blades, fuel system cleaners, motor oil, and more. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Dial star 2020. Friends, I care.
Trey Radel, your host of The Drive here. It was only a couple years ago I had my LASIK procedure done with Dr. France and his team. It's life-changing. From the simple little things like waking up in the morning, being able to see the alarm clock, to being able to go outside, toss ball with my son in the heat of the summer and not worry about glasses, contacts, sweat getting into them. But listen to this, though. The technology has radically improved even since I had my procedure done. Maybe you're a candidate for what's called SMILE. It's a procedure that has a smaller incision, no flap, and a lower incidence of dry eye syndrome. It's fantastic. All sorts of options that you can do now with Dr. France and his team to meet the needs of your eyes specifically. It is not one size fits all. So don't compromise when it comes to your eyes. So go to Dr. France and his team today. Just dial ** 2020 from your mobile phone and go see him.
Friends, I care.
They were fathers and mothers, sons and daughters, sisters and brothers. This is Trey Radel from 92.5 Fox News. 20 years ago, on 9/11, 2,977 perished. In their honor, in their memory, 92.5 Fox News will place one flag for each of their souls to create a field of flags in downtown Naples, starting next week on 92.5 Fox News.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau. You can count on us for great service. You can count on us to get it done. You can count on us for a price that's fair, and quality is second to none. For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Retire with Grace with Bob Grace, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon to get the answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Don't miss Retire with Grace, a Tri-Found company. Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
When was the last time you checked in on your insurance? Give CIG a chance to review your current coverage and find you better rates. Hi, this is Brian Chapman at Chapman Insurance Group. My team and I are dedicated to finding you the best suited coverage at the best rates. Give us an opportunity to quote your home, auto, business, or flood policy. I'm confident we can save you money for the same or better coverage. Qualified agents are standing by. Visit CIGFlorida.com or call an office near you today. Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Port Charlotte, and Punta Gorda. CIGFlorida.com.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line streaming live. DrewSteele.com, the website, Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate you watching the program, subscribing to the podcast. Go to DrewSteele.com, and right there, there's a link so you can subscribe. The last time I had an opportunity to sit and speak with Father Frank Pavone was at CPAC recently. We had a chance to sit together since 1993. You may or may not know that he has been the National Director for Priests for Life, a pro-life ministry, headquarters in Titusville, good old Titusville, Florida. And if you didn't know, was the national co-chair of Pro-Life Voices for Trump. And he is joining us this morning on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News because we got a lot happening this morning in Texas. This is big, big, big. And so I wanted to bring him on. First of all, good morning, Father. How are you today?
Hey, Drew, it's so good to be with you. I'm doing fine. And greetings to Southwest Florida.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, I'll tell you, the pro-abortion crowd is apoplectic, I'd say, is maybe the word to use. They are beside themselves right now. Now, some might say this restrictive law. I would say protective law. You might want to make that case as well. But putting that aside, talk a little bit about this, what they've done in Texas and your thoughts.
Well, first of all, you took the words right out of my mouth. Protective law is really what it is, because what the Texas legislators have done is they've said, look, we believe that once you can detect a heartbeat in this baby, and they put that at 6 weeks simply because not that's when the heart starts beating, but in fact by that time the heart has beat. After 6 weeks of development, people probably don't realize the heart has already beat 4 million times. But this law is modeled on a proposal that actually has been introduced in other states as well that says, look, once we can hear a heartbeat, it's time to protect that child under the law. And it passed the legislature. It was signed by the governor back in May. And, of course, what the pro-abortion people always do is challenge it in court, because the courts have always said, well, you know, Roe v. Wade said you can protect the baby from viability, but if it's before that, well, no, not so much. You know, we got to allow that baby to be killed. And that's why they made an appeal to the courts, even to the Supreme Court. But the Supreme Court right now is saying, listen, we're going to let this law stand. And this is why it has gone into effect as of yesterday.
Yeah, and a lot of people are talking about the fact that, well, two things. Number one, this law was set differently than others because in the past, what has happened is there's always been this case that has been made go to a judge. A judge would preempt it, would do something ahead of time. It wouldn't be able to be enforced. Too many times that was the case. The way the law was set up in Texas this time was quite different. And the way they made it out so that individuals could actually go out and sue these providers, it's quite unique, the approach, and one that I might say soon could be emulated, especially if you're looking at a Supreme Court who likely is going to see the case anyway. I mean, it's nothing that they can avoid anymore, Father. It's coming.
Well, you know, there's a number of dynamics going on here, like you say, and this has been done actually by local municipalities throughout Texas, especially. It's called Sanctuary Cities for the Unborn, where a town will say, we are not going to have abortion in our town. Right. And a city council could actually pass that, and many have. And what has been done is they've said this is going to be enforcement by the citizens. A person can can bring a civil suit if an abortion occurs. It's a novel approach, and the Supreme Court itself is not quite sure how to handle that at this point, which is why they didn't block the law. But the bigger picture, Drew, of course, is this, that the Supreme Court acknowledges the fact that it's time to revisit the idea that a law protecting babies so early in pregnancy is automatically unconstitutional. They're kind of scratching their heads and say, where in the Constitution does it say that? The Constitution doesn't address abortion. And so they've accepted this case out of Mississippi, which protects babies from 15 weeks forward, and they're going to be deciding that in the spring of 22. So this is big. It can really modify what the courts have been saying on abortion for the past 50 years.
Yeah. Father Frank Pavone joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. He is he was the national co-chair of the Pro-Life Voices for Trump, and he's the director of Priests for Life, and certainly someone who has been keeping an eye on this for a very, very long time, as many people have, certainly, especially when it comes to a couple of other things, Father, and I might mention this too. The 5-4 decision to deny the emergency appeal.
Yes.
I might make the case that the worry has been not as much sometimes about what is or is not constitutional, unfortunately, because if you're going to go to courts that will legislate from the bench, you can throw all of that out anyway, because they seem to be the arbiters of all that is right, regardless of what the Constitution says. Sometimes you can argue that. But then the other side of it is this. Listen, John Roberts was the one who was part of the dissenters in this case. There are those that would say that the real issue becomes the politics. How many people want to be, who wants to be looked at as the justice that made the one quintessential decision, one of the biggest decisions when it comes to Roe v. Wade, or even when you talk about our culture of our time? Who wants to be that person? Are you confident that a decision can be made with this court, even the way things are politically?
Well, first of all, I was thanking President Trump today in some other interviews, and I'll do so now again, because were it not for him and the 3 justices that he put on this court, we would not be in the situation we are right now. And, that's why 2021 has been a year where there's been more pro-life state laws than ever, because these lawmakers are more confident now in how the courts are going to come down on this. The point you raised, the political point, is a very important one, because the justices are under extreme pressure. We don't even know, the untold stories of the threats that they receive, et cetera, for the very reason you mentioned. So I think the only thing we can do is continue to echo the public sentiment. There has been no decision of the Supreme Court other than Roe v. Wade that has received so much sustained criticism from so many for so long.
Yeah.
And things have changed since 73, medically, scientifically, culturally, legally. A lot has changed, and that's what the court has to look at now. They have enough backup, if you will, to say, look, this is obsolete now to say you can't protect these babies. They're our newest patient. We do surgery on these babies. But it is going to require a tremendous amount of political courage. And, Drew, I think that's why right now abortion is still legal, because there hasn't been the political courage to do what everyone in their heart really knows is the right thing.
Yeah, and I might ask you this before we go, and maybe the most important question to ask you, as you've been keeping an eye on this, you certainly have been keeping an eye on the culture, and you certainly have been keeping an eye on parishioners. You've been keeping an eye on what they are saying as well. Do you feel like there is still strength when it comes to those that care about the sanctity of life, and that the culture has not dug in too deep into a lot of individuals, specifically with regard to this issue?
When it comes to the issue of abortion specifically, there's more strength than ever, and it's an interesting dichotomy, as you're implying. It's this issue we're making tremendous progress with, not necessarily so on a lot of the other cultural issues, but there is a unique aspect. There always has been a unique aspect to the abortion issue, and that's why, as I said in a speech the other day, I've never been more confident that the days of legal abortion in America are numbered. Things have changed. Things are continuing to change, and people can see, look, this is a baby. If we're not going to protect these babies, how can we advocate for protecting anybody else?
If people want to find out more about you, Father, or want to follow maybe Priests for Life, or where can they go to get more information? Tell us.
That would be endabortion.us. That's our main website. We do a lot of different things. There's a role for everybody. You don't have to be a priest or Catholic to connect with us. Endabortion.us.
All right. Father Frank Pavone, you are awesome. We'd love to have the chance to speak with you again. This was great. And I hope
Let's
we
do
get
it.
to, we'll do it again soon, okay?
God bless you, Drew. Thank you.
Same to you. All the best. 239-479-5592. Yeah, listen, one of the things that we certainly do have to look at in this case, in this issue, and again, the way the Supreme Court said 5-4, they're going to leave this alone, where there are those that think they're beside themselves. The legacy fake news mainstream media is going to make this the discussion point all day long today. They would love nothing more than to be able to pivot away from Afghanistan and to try to make it all about this issue. They're probably already doing it now as we speak. How this has set up an interesting situation nationally, as he talked about those that have talked about this before, even locally in Naples, and the idea of making it a sanctuary city for the unborn, the same type of thing that we're looking at here in the state of Texas, and how individuals can go after providers, and how there are those that now have had something taken away from them, the ability to get a judge to side with them. All of a sudden that has been taken away, and they're beside themselves because I'm not sure what to do. And it's ultimately going to go to the courts. It's going to go to the Supreme Court. This is going to be brought up again, Roe v. Wade. We're going to have this discussion, whether we all like it or not. It's going to be out there, and I am not sure. I know the Father Pavone feels differently, but I'm just not sure that this court has the will politically, the way things have been right now, especially if some people take to the streets, and we've seen when people take to the streets what they are willing to do and how far they're willing to go to get their way, especially those on the left, that I'm not sure that they want to be the ones, but we'll see. We'll see if they have that kind of courage. All right. 239-479-5592. You know, I might take this call just because I think it's part of the discussion. Greg is in Naples and wanted to make a point about this. Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, I'm not pro-choice. I'm not pro-life. I'm against people telling other people what to do with their bodies. Like, you can't sit there and say to a woman, you can't do this with your body, you can do this with your body, because what's going to happen is they're going to make abortion illegal across the country, and they're going to say, well, where did all these babies come from? They came from the man. So now they're going to tell every man in the country to get a vasectomy until they're financially and mentally stable to have a family. That's the problem that I'm having.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's going to go that far, Greg, but a couple of things to what you said. The first thing is, number one, when somebody makes the case of, their body, their choice, the baby is not their body. It's a different body. Biologically, if you're going to speak about this, I know, and people freak out when I say this, the person that is in your body is a separate body other than you. This is a different human being, a different person than you are. You could make that case biologically. I know it's an outrage. I know. Go ahead, call, text. You can say whatever you'd like, but we can have that discussion if you want. And then the second part of it is going to be that that's fundamentally what we're going to have to look at. And even across the country, it's not going away. Greg, abortion is never going to leave the planet. It's just not going to. It's going to be up to the citizens of different states and for them to make the choice as to whether or not they want to have it in the state and whether or not they want it in their community. They're going to make these choices. It's always going to be here. And thanks for the call, Greg. I appreciate it. It's never going to go away. You're not going to have it go away any more than you're going to have people that are going to stop trying to convince you that, man-made climate change and the reason why we have storms the way we have right now is because of how much gas you're putting in your tank and what your carbon footprint and how they're going to continue. It's just not going to stop, among other things. Maybe you disagree and you want to call 239-479-5592. Yeah, we can have that discussion. Absolutely. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
Whether you're commuting to the office or driving to the beach, always stay to the right with 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hey guys, there is some important news that all men should take very seriously. Your prostate health. Are you urinating more frequently? Are you waking up at night to urinate? Are you sick and tired of prostate pills that just don't work? Sound familiar? If you are one of the millions of men with prostate problems that are driving you nuts, there is some great news. Prostagenics is the all-natural product that beat over 157 other prostate supplements in lab tests and was rated the #1 most powerful prostate supplement in the world. #1, because it works. So why not try some Prostagenics, and your prostate troubles will be a thing of the past. You'll get a great night's sleep and stop waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. To get your free bottle of Prostagenics, call now, 800-600-2020. That's 1-800-600-2020. Take advantage of our 90-day money-back guarantee. Call 800-600-2020. Do it now.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. We all count on our home's electrical outlets to provide us the power we need when we need it. But sometimes an overloaded circuit can lead to a blown outlet. So leave it to the pros at Mr. Sparky. We'll get it done right and get it done safely. Call now for $70 off any electrical repair.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Limitations and restrictions may apply. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Great news, Southwest Florida. Matt and Justin here with Island Air.
Over the past year and a half, we know that many people have sacrificed their vacations.
We know that replacing your air conditioning system is a stressful purchase. Usually it's something that you didn't plan on, very inconvenient, always seems to happen at the worst time, and we were trying to find a way to ease that burden.
Decisions. Do I buy an air conditioner? Do I take a vacation? For a limited time, Island Air is offering you both in one package.
Call Island Air and get that outdated system replaced, and included with your purchase, you will get a vacation voucher of your choosing.
It's your choice with a qualified purchase of a cruise or condo resort voucher. You can choose 4,500 different resort options, 106 countries around the world.
A vacation can be yours with the purchase of a new air conditioning system. Call us today to find out more details on how to claim your voucher for a limited time. Call 239-466-8668.
Call 466-8668 for more details.
License number CAC 057544.
I'm Harvey Massey. Think about this for a moment. Pest control involves applying pesticides inside your home, whether needed or not. At Massey Services, we just don't do that. We prevent pests from getting inside your home so we won't have to control them later. Why settle for pest control when you can trust Massey's pest prevention? It's guaranteed or your money back. Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere and Jay will beat it, guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at gooddealsappliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
We believe in better. A better way to invest, a better way to serve you, and a better result. We can help you determine how much risk you're taking, red flags that could be potential problems for you, how much you're paying in fees or commissions, potential tax liability, or even how to address Social Security.
Tune in to WealthWorks Radio with Eric Carney every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
Stay right here, because after Drew, it's Glenn Beck, 9 to noon. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
DrewSteele.com, the website. Steele has 3 E's if you want to watch, and you can also subscribe to the podcast there. We appreciate you doing that. A Rasmussen poll came out yesterday. 52% of voters say Biden should resign. 60% favor impeachment. But nothing to see here. We don't want to even talk about that. Mitch McConnell says, nope, we're not going to impeach Biden over Afghanistan. No, not at all. We were not going to do anything. Hey, could we do something that Julie Kelly, the great Julie Kelly, mentioned in a tweet earlier today when she said, let's make sure in 2022 that if you're somebody who's going to run for Senate, that the only way that as a Republican that you'll be able to get through a primary or get votes from your constituents is to make sure you sign a pledge that says that McConnell will not be in Senate leadership any longer as long as you're there. Can we just do that? I think I could agree with that. We'll talk about that more coming up, and the mess that is Afghanistan as more and more news comes out about that. I also heard that Joe Rogan, is this right? Joe Rogan's got COVID. Did you hear about this, Jake? Jake the Millennial? Joe Rogan's got COVID, and what is he doing? He's taking what for it? Uh-oh. Did you hear what he's taking?
I did.
All right. When we come back, Joe Rogan, you may know him. He's got the vid. He's taking some. Oh, boy. Wait till you hear what he's taking. Coming up.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Looking for a reputable HVAC service provider? 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating of Naples provides a high level of service and value to our clients. To learn more, visit onehourairnaples.com or call 855-1-HOUR.
Fox News listeners, Saturday morning is the perfect time to talk boats and water fun in Southwest Florida. This is Adam Botana again from Baywater Sousa Boat Club. Join us every Saturday morning from 7 to 8 for the Baywater Boat Club Hour. We talk boats, fishing, boating hotspots, water quality, on top of Jake the Millennial and I just having fun on the radio. And if you don't have a boat, Baywater Sousa Boat Club has got you covered. Just call me, Adam, at 239-495-0455.
When you need a new roof, it pays to deal with the best. King Roofing has built their business on a solid foundation of honest appraisals, fair pricing, and the finest workmanship. Your insurance may be paying the bills, but you'll live with your choice of roofer for years, even decades to come. Choose Roofing Royalty, and you'll never regret it. In Southwest Florida, there's only one King. Call King Roofing today.
Every castle deserves a king.
Leftists make you fret? Check out rightallalong.net, the new web home for 92.5 Fox News.
Ty Lassiter here, Managing Partner and CEO of Key City Capital. I think we can all admit that our origin has a lot of importance in what we will become. Many of you didn't originate from Florida, but you have come here, and that choice has altered your path for the rest of your life, especially how much taxes you pay if you came here from the Northeast. So what is Key City Capital's origin? Why did we choose to move to Southwest Florida? Our mission is to connect capital to wealth through passive real estate and alternative investments. Very simply, we generate and distribute double-digit returns for our investors. For over 10 years, we have never missed a monthly interest payment to our partners, and we have never lost a penny of our investors' capital. That is history you can build and rely on.
If you're looking for significant returns from real estate and alternative investments, call us today at 239-330-2080 or check us out online today at kcap925.com. That's kcap925.com.
92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. At least 8 people are killed in flash flooding in New York and New Jersey. More than 3 inches of rain fell in an hour in New York Central Park, breaking a record set last month.
The rain came, and it came fast. The torrential downpours causing sewers to bubble over as sidewalks and roads turn to rivers, shutting down much of the city's public transportation as the National Weather Service declared a flash flood emergency in New York City for the first time in history.
Fox's Gary Baumgarten. President Biden declared a disaster in California to start federal coordination of efforts to fight the Caldor fire on the Nevada border.
CAL FIRE's Kevin Brown said Wednesday brought some higher winds.
It clears out the sky, so it allows for all that aircraft to work. The flip side is that it brings in fresh oxygen to the fire. It helps fan those flames and push them to move faster.
More evacuations may be in store.
Fox's Jill Nato. America's listening to Fox News.
This break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Wink News, traffic.
Good morning. Heading out right now through I-75 southbound. We have a crash off to the right-hand shoulder near the Immokalee Road exit at mile marker 111. Just make sure you stay over to the left or center lane with that move over law. Aside from that, the rest of 75 is up to speed. We do have one crash we're watching in the Buckingham area along Peace Lane, just west of Buckingham Road. Dealing with a crash also in South Fort Myers at Maida Lane and Gladiolus Drive, tracking delays heading westbound towards Summerlin along Gladiolus, and a crash in Lehigh at Homestead Road right near the Park Place Apartments. So watch out for some slight slowdowns just off of Marblebrook Boulevard. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. We are getting close to that upcoming holiday weekend for your Labor Day. And as we do so, we will be looking at some higher chances for thunderstorms as we work through the remainder of this work week. Higher moisture in the atmosphere will lead to some higher chances for rain and thunderstorms beginning today. And with that more cloud cover, look for a mostly cloudy sky, which will help limit our temperatures into the mid and upper 80s for daytime highs. Things topping off near 87 degrees. We'll keep with a few more showers and perhaps some thunderstorms even as we head into later on tonight. Temperatures tomorrow morning wake up near 76 degrees, where a few showers will be possible as we kick off your Friday. An even higher chance for rain and thunderstorms for tomorrow, especially for your Friday afternoon. And we'll be looking at a high near 88 degrees, another mostly cloudy sky. As we head into the upcoming weekend, we'll keep with a daily chance for scattered thunderstorms Saturday, Sunday, and into your Labor Day, with highs bumping back into the lower 90s. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
There's a reason they call tasteless, stale food leftovers. Feed your brain the right way. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit InspireSleep.com to learn more.
I suffered with plantar fasciitis for almost 20 years.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life.
If you suffer with plantar fasciitis, the search for pain relief can feel like an endless and hopeless ordeal.
I would try drugstore, insoles and supports.
I've been through surgeries, foot injections.
I was trying all different things. Not a single one worked.
If you think you've tried everything to relieve your foot pain, you probably haven't tried arch supports from the Good Feet store.
And then I was driving past the Good Feet store, and I thought, why not? Give it a try. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support for my feet. Then it was like, okay, this is different. These make a difference.
I don't have foot pain anymore. I'm so glad I met Good Feet. It changed my life.
See how Good Feet arch supports work for you before you buy with a free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
Call 552-FEET or visit us in Naples or our newest store in Fort Myers.
100% organic food and thought.
We live in a fast-paced, fast food world. Meanwhile, people have gotten sicker. We've lost our connection to the earth, to our food, and where it comes from. Food and Thought in Naples is an oasis where people can reconnect to their food and where it comes from. It's not just a grocery store, it's a lifestyle.
100% organic food and thought.
A well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. This is State Representative Spencer Roach, and that single sentence has done more to preserve liberty than any part of the Constitution, but it's also under constant attack. Last session, your Republican legislature killed more than 20 bills directly attacking the Second Amendment. Bills were filed to repeal Florida's Stand Your Ground law, to ban assault weapons, to require background checks to purchase ammunition, to regulate how you can store weapons in your own home, and to allow local governments to make their own gun control laws. Every single one of those bills was stopped in its tracks. This is Spencer Roach, and the Second Amendment is the only permission slip I need to carry a gun, and you have my commitment that I will resist any action that attempts to violate it, because I understand what shall not be infringed means. Sponsored by Friends of Spencer Roach, P.O. Box 3179, North Fort Myers, Florida, 33918.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Retire with Grace with Bob Grace, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon to get the answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Don't miss Retire with Grace, a Tri-Found company, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Hey, this is Papa with Casey, Carrie, and Cody. And as most of you know, when Irma hit in September of 2017, thousands of people tried unsuccessfully to call a roofing company, but all the roofers were so overwhelmed they could not handle or even answer those calls. Now here we are, 4 years later, and many of those same people are still waiting to have their roofs repaired. So, we are implementing our proactive list. If you want to be on our list, call me for our free total inspection. Once we inspect your roof, you will be on the proactive list. If or when the next storm hits, you will have no need to call any roofer because we will be calling you automatically to see if you need help. We can offer emergency repairs and tarp service or whatever your roof requires. Call Papa now for our free total inspection, 945-2700. We believe it's wise to be proactive and it costs you nothing to join our list. Call Papa for our free total inspection at 945-2700. That's 945-2700. Area code 239-945-2700. License number CCC 1326213.
The right place for local talk. Drew now. Trey for the drive at 5. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along. This is Daybreak with Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
Tucker, I mean, I just was stunned when I heard that. And, you know, so were hundreds, in fact, thousands of Americans who know what's going on the ground there, including many, many Democrats. I cannot tell you how many Democrats I've heard from who say that they regret voting for Joe Biden, that they're ashamed to be American, that never in their lives have they ever felt that sense of shame. Because this is the kind of thing we're talking about, right? There are literally wounded Afghan special operations soldiers who were wounded before we pulled out, who are lying in their hospital beds, waiting to be executed by these Islamic terrorists.
That's a little bit of Laura Logan in her interview with Tucker Carlson from last night, talking about this extraordinary success in Afghanistan. And even she's saying that she can't tell you how many Democrats that she's heard from who said that they regret voting for Joe Biden. Now you regret it? You got Bill Kristol, the biggest never-Trumper, who's saying the same things. My friends who voted for Biden said they're inclined not to do it again. Really? Oh, well, why were they inclined before? Because they were all upset about ugly tweets? Is that what it was? Yeah, okay, gotcha. Perfectly good phone calls that now we come to find out that it's Joe Biden that's making perfectly not fine phone calls? I don't even know if that's the way to put it, but that's what's going on. And we'll get to more of that audio coming up, some more interview with Tucker Carlson from last night. Stephen Miller, and talking about why the Afghan refugees aren't being sent to places like Martha's Vineyard and other places. And Stephen Miller has some pretty shocking allegations, if you want to call them allegations, but quite honestly, things that he is talking about that nobody seems to want to mention. Like, who are these people? Is it possible that in the vetting process of those that have come here, the select few of the Biden administration of Afghans that have made it to this country, is it possible that there's no record of even who they are? To do a background check to see that they technically don't even exist? Is that right? We'll get to that coming up in just a second. DrewSteele.com, the website. Steele has 3 E's. If you want to watch the show, you can do it right now. Also, subscribe to the podcast, your favorite place. Just type in Drew Steele. You'll find us. Or you can go to DrewSteele.com, and right there you can click the link to subscribe. We appreciate it. This from yesterday, many people were asking us here in the studio about the governor, Ron DeSantis, here in Southwest Florida. Why was he here? Jake getting the tap on the shoulder. People in the newsroom, do you know anything? We don't know anything. Oh, what's he doing? I don't know. Do you know what he's doing? We're not sure why he's here. Why is he coming here? I know Jake makes a face every time I say that because people kept coming into the room as I was watching the glass, and I kept seeing people in the newsroom walking in. He holds his hands up, and they walk out holding his hands up. Nobody knew. But now we know. You know, the talk about certainly monoclonal antibodies and some of the things that he said. And it's very important that we catch up on this and what he did say yesterday, in case you missed it.
We have now in Florida, with 21 different sites providing early treatment for COVID with monoclonal antibodies, had treated over 40,000 patients. And since we've been doing those treatments, we've seen a decline in hospital admissions for COVID. We've seen a decline in the hospital census for COVID.
You know, I'm just going to stop for a second to mention this. This is part of the reason why people get upset. They don't understand. Why is it that the governor has to set up 21 different sites for monoclonal antibodies that are already paid for that you can just get the infusion? I know of 3 people, not 1, but 3 people in their 70s, not vaccinated, who got the vid, got the monoclonal antibodies, are absolutely fine right now. And you want to figure out a way to stop people from going to hospital, to loading hospitals up. That's how you do it. You do it with therapies. Why are we not talking about that more?
And we've seen a decline in the visits to emergency rooms for COVID. And so this early treatment for people reduces the chance that you will be hospitalized.
And again, the governor from yesterday here in Southwest Florida, in Fort Myers to be exact, bringing all of this up. A lot of questions people continue to ask. Joe Rogan, as a matter of fact, we were just bringing that up a little earlier. I know this is going to be, do I say this, Jake? Do I want to say it? Joe Rogan's got the vid, and what is he taking? Apparently he's taking ivermectin. Come on, Sparky. You know, because it's a horse pill. It's never been given to a human being ever in the history of mankind. Not one single human being has ever received ivermectin at all. Does not exist.
Breaking news.
A bombshell.
Oh, wait, this just in. Oh, yeah, yes, they have. Yeah, yes, they have. It was Nobel Award winning. As a matter of fact, apparently if you get tapeworm, ringworm, or whatever worm it is that you get, and you got that, it's an anti-parasitic. That's what you take. But you're not supposed to be taking it for COVID. Well, have you seen some of the studies about? No, we can't do it. Can't talk about it. Seems like we can't even talk about monoclonal antibodies. We can't talk about therapies. Trying to keep people out of Lee Health hospitals. You're trying to stop people from loading up in the hospital. And listen, I'm not being insensitive to the cases that are there. I'm asking a legitimate question. How many therapies have people been given in health systems here in Southwest Florida, across the state and the country? How many therapies have people been given? Any therapies, directed to any therapies, to see to it that once a positive case pops up, that they don't end up in a hospital? I'm just asking. Just asking.
But then what we saw this summer is as people were getting infected, prevalence was much higher than it had been weeks or months before. You had people who, some of them were not vaccinated, were getting very sick, but they weren't going in to get treatment prior to getting so sick that they were being hospitalized. We also saw the fact that, yes, the vaccinations are reducing the severity of infections for people. You're much less likely to get hospitalized if you're vaccinated. You're much less likely to die from COVID if you're vaccinated. But we also saw people were getting infected.
Yeah, people were getting infected. It is happening, and it is possible that if you are vaccinated, that you can infect others. There's just questions here that people want the answers. We're big boys and girls. We've been doing this for 18 plus months. We can handle all the science that is coming out. But apparently there are some that say we can't. Like the great Tom Elliott from Grabian had this tweet out yesterday. Why is Twitter preventing its users from sharing a link to an article in Science, a publication of the American Association for the Advancement of Science? Science, you know, the things that people care about. When there's an article in Science that says, quote, the risk of hospitalization was 8 times higher among people with only vaccine-induced immunity compared to people with natural immunity from having had COVID with the Delta variant predominant. That's in Science magazine. That's a publication. Are we not allowed to talk about that? Well, according to Twitter, you're not. And people are asking why not. You know, when the CDC is saying, if you're unvaccinated, there it is, the head of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. It's Dr. Rochelle Walensky saying, look, if you're not vaccinated, you shouldn't travel this Labor Day weekend. You should not be out. You should not be traveling. You should not be okay, well, the question then becomes, what about those that have already had it? That, according to the science, would suggest that your immunity and that your natural immunity is 8 times higher than those that have been vaccinated. We're not allowed to talk about, what about those individuals? What are they, again, these are just questions that people ask. Dr. Fauci seems to be sold on monoclonals. right?
Trials have demonstrated that early treatment with anti-SARS-CoV-2 monoclonal antibodies can reduce the risk of COVID-19 hospitalization or death by 70 to 85%.
But you don't understand. Emergency use only. We're not allowed to be able to. It's off label. It's not FDA approved. Can we stop and take a step back and ask some simple questions? How much is being done on the side of therapies to get people to take therapy so that they don't end up in hospital? How many people are looking into it and seriously doing studies? And how many people are out there that are willing to give and tell people to go to get these monoclonals or anything, or ivermectin or hydroxy, wherever you want to go with this? The fact that it's not happening is frustrating many, many people. You see what I'm talking about. And then on the heels of Dr. Walensky saying, oh, you shouldn't travel if you're not vaccinated. Well, what about those that have natural immunity? When we have brutal lockdowns that are happening in Australia, where you have a story out now that cops imposing a brutal lockdown in Sydney's west are caught throwing a party at their police station for an LGBTQIA awareness party. They're having a party for LGBTQ awareness while everybody else has to be locked up in their homes. They can't even go talk to their neighbors. They're being told not to talk to their neighbors. I mean, at least they were. How does this happen? How do you allow this to happen? Again, we're just asking questions. They all have to be answered. Every single one of them have to be answered. It's about saving lives, right? It's about keeping people out of hospital, right? Sure. Okay. 239-479-5592. Kurt's in Naples. He wanted to talk about a little bit about Afghanistan. Yes, sir. What's on your mind today?
Yeah, good morning. I know we all know who POTUS is, and he's in the wings, of course. But our illustrious president, my wife likes to call him Pino, president in name only. Because of Afghanistan, the one thing that I'm curious about, we don't hear a lot of, it was briefly mentioned of all those other countries that came in and got their service folks out. And I'm wondering, too, if they also help some of our citizens and they're not even being recognized, like England and France, Germany.
Yeah.
And I had a hard time last night trying to sleep because I'm a veteran. I worked with service dogs for years, and it breaks my heart to see what they're doing to those poor, awesome animals that supported our troops.
Yeah.
And the disgusting way they're treating them. That just makes me sick.
Yeah, well, and ditto. It's it really is awful what has transpired. Tucker Carlson last night talked to a former Royal Marine. I don't know if you saw that segment, who said that 94 dogs and even 79 cats were rescued from Afghanistan. The Royal Marines took care of this, the UK, and somehow we weren't able to do that and then some. It does call into question a lot of what transpired. And thanks for the call there, Kurt. I appreciate it. And again, on the heels of all of that was a question about those that have been brought over. It's not an issue of whether we're a good country doing the right thing, refugees. Everybody on both sides of the aisle understands what that means when you're talking about refugees and lives, human lives, and caring about individuals and refugees and bringing them here to this country and those that want to escape and to get away from Afghanistan. Nobody's heading that direction. So the question was brought up to Stephen Miller yesterday with America First Legal and asked that very question.
Well, what we are witnessing right now, Tucker, is the greatest bait and switch of all time. Joe Biden callously played on America's sympathies for a small core of Afghans who worked closely in difficult conditions with American troops, left all those people nearly in Afghanistan, and then in their stead brought over 100,000 randomly selected Afghan nationals, and he is not bringing them to the United States through any lawful process or through any lawful vetting channels. And my sources inside of government are very clear that most of these individuals, when you run a background check, it comes up blank. they're ghosts. Nobody knows who they are. Of course, if they'd worked for the U.S. government, when you take their fingerprints, it'd come up right away. But there's no matches.
There's no matches. Is that true? Is Stephen Miller telling the truth? Are his sources right? If you are a journalist and you're going to do some, not journalizing, but journalism. If you're a journalist that wants to do some journalism, not journalizing, you might go out and try to explore this and find out if this is true. It's important. It's got nothing to, and the question becomes, do people not want to go out and talk about this or explore this because it may expose something that's an ugly side that we don't want to believe in? Because, you know, the people, the ivory tower elites, those that have this vision of a unicorn utopia in their head of everything that the way it should be, and you know how that works, really honestly believe that if somebody is escaping a country that and they claim to be a refugee, that just their word is good enough. In this world, it doesn't exist. You can't do that. You have to vet. And the idea that in vetting you might find out something you don't want to know, you'd be better off not even looking. I don't even want to look because I'd hate to find out or discover what I would discover if this is true, because it destroys your narrative. You shouldn't do that, clearly. The same way if there are therapeutics or things that you can be doing to take care of yourself outside of let's say, well, let's just put it this way. If there are therapeutics and ways to take care of the vid, you'd want to get the information on that, wouldn't you? Because it is about safety and security of the American people and the world. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. Streaming live, drewsteele.com, the website, Steele has 3 E's. Hey, let's do this. Let's open up the phone lines. If you'd like to play Drew's College of Political Knowledge, 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. You can do that right now. And also a reminder that tomorrow is going to be a big day. Tomorrow morning, we'll be live at Oaks Farms Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road. Not only will Roger Stone be joining us, but also we'll have a live performance. Ben Allen is going to be there performing. I guess he was, if you don't know, a finalist on last year's The Voice. And he's got a great new patriotic song that they're going to be performing live tomorrow as well at Oaks Farms Seed to Table at Livingston and Immokalee Road in Naples, 6 to 9 a.m. We'll broadcast live. All right, we'll take your calls right now for Drew's College next on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
Stay right here, because after Drew, it's Glenn Beck, 9 to noon. 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
In business, it's never just another day. Every day is the day that could bring your biggest order yet, or a new cyber threat. Whatever the day holds, with Comcast Business, you'll be prepared. With a network that can deliver gig speeds to the most businesses. Comcast Business Security Edge to help protect your connected devices, and a dedicated team available 24/7. Every day in business is a big day. We'll keep you ready for what's next. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with a fast and reliable internet and voice solution for $35 each a month for 24 months for 2 years when you buy both. Or ask about our best deal on a gig speed bundle with a $500 prepaid card. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com to learn more. Offer requires enrollment in paperless billing and autopay through My Account. Ends 9/19/21. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 35 megabits per second internet and 1 voice line. Early termination fee applies. Equipment taxes and fees extra and subject to change.
Injuries on the job can cause you to lose control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar Levine. Money is not coming in and your medical bills are piling up. Our legal team is here to help. We can help you file all your workers' compensation claims to make sure you get the proper benefits you're entitled to. If you've been injured on the job, call the law offices of Anajar Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Naples. When was the last time you checked in on your insurance? Give CIG a chance to review your current coverage and find you better rates. Hi, this is Brian Chapman at Chapman Insurance Group. My team and I are dedicated to finding you the best suited coverage at the best rates. Give us an opportunity to quote your home, auto, business, or flood policy. I'm confident we can save you money for the same or better coverage. Qualified agents are standing by. Visit CIGFlorida.com or call an office near you today. Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Port Charlotte, and Punta Gorda. CIGFlorida.com.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to Mike. Mike's in Cape Coral. Hello there, Mike.
Good gravy, bad bumbling Biden.
Okay. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Your associate's degree question, sir, starts right now. Hey, Mike, who was the president of the United States in 2003?
That would be George W.
Yeah, that is correct, sir. All right, you got a associate's. We'll see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question. How many people are there in the U.S. House of Representatives? How many members?
Do I get a multiple choice?
No.
I'm going to go 537.
435. 435 is the number. That's okay. We learned. Listen, it's a civics lesson. That's what we learned. All right, let's see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question. In 1966, you have the right to remain silent. You probably know that phrase. It was SCOTUS that ruled in the case. It was Arizona versus... Because it's your right.
Miranda.
That's right. It is Miranda. That is correct. All right, you got a bachelor's. Let's see if you get a master's degree on this question. In 1987, in Berlin, Ronald Reagan challenged Gorbachev. What did he say?
Tear down this wall.
That is correct, sir. All right, so you see, you started good, you kind of stumbled, and then you came right back again. So you got yourself a master's degree today on Drew's College. Mike, we appreciate the call so much. Thank you. 239-479-5592. When we come back, we'll have the latest, this administration, Afghanistan. Hey, by the way, if you go and you're looking at all the Talking Head morning shows and everything, they're talking about anything and everything except Afghanistan. we can walk and chew gum at the same time. We can talk about that and a lot of other issues coming up this morning.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Oh, according to research, 82% of people remember radio ads. That means that 82% of you listening right now will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. If you're hiring, 82% of you will recall that ZipRecruiter makes hiring faster and easier. And 82% of you will note that you can try ZipRecruiter for free today. But you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Yes, free. 82% of you will keep in mind that ZipRecruiter's technology finds qualified people for your job and actively invites them to apply.
Scott, is that you? Who are you talking to?
82% of you will also know that I, live with my mom. But the most important thing to note is that ZipRecruiter works. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Will you be part of the 82% who remember where you can try ZipRecruiter for free? It's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Again, that exclusive link is ZipRecruiter.com/free. How much? Free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
No longer a hurricane, but still deadly. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Ida's remnants poured down on the Northeast with fury, tornadoes and flash floods. New York City got it bad. Fox's Tanya J. Powers is there live.
Dave, the National Weather Service issued a flash flood emergency last night. It's the first time it had ever been done for the New York City area. It also reported rainfall rates of 3 to 5 inches per hour in the city, as well as in northeastern New Jersey. Now, the NYPD officials have reported at least 8 deaths in New York City, including a 50-year-old man, a 48-year-old woman, and a 2-year-old boy who were found unresponsive inside a home. Another death was reported in New Jersey. Now, governors in both states have declared a state of emergency, Dave.
Tanya, another man died in flooding in Rockville, Maryland, while a tornado did damage in Annapolis. It's 4 days after Hurricane Ida hit Louisiana, and many areas are still damaged and flooded and dark.
Really, we cannot sustain people. Stores aren't open, schools aren't open, pharmacies aren't open. Our hospitals are very challenged. You don't have electricity. You don't have water.
So Governor John Bel Edwards is urging those who evacuated not to return yet. In California, firefighters hope calmer winds today will help them drive that massive wildfire away from Lake Tahoe. It's burning near resort areas. Thousands have evacuated. The Taliban's working with the Qataris to reopen the airport in Kabul, where 2 weeks of deadly evacuation chaos ended when the final U.S. troops left Afghanistan on Monday.
Meanwhile, video showed Taliban forces parading Wednesday in Kandahar, driving around on U.S.-made armored vehicles, showing off U.S. weapons they've seized. Those materials abandoned by American forces during the withdrawal.
Fox's Jill Nato. A victory for Texas, the Supreme Court refusing to block the state's new abortion law that bans most abortions after 6 weeks of pregnancy, though the appeals attempting to overturn that law continue. America's listening to Fox News.
Getting it right all day and all night. 92.5 WFSX Estero. Fox News. Right all along.
Wink News. Traffic.
Good morning. Heading out right now through I-75. Still dealing with a crash southbound off to the right-hand shoulder near the Immokalee Road exit, mile marker 111. Not too bad on 41 in Collier County, dealing with one other crash on Rattlesnake Hammock Road at Collier Boulevard. No injuries and just some slight delays at the intersection. In Lee County, we have a crash we're watching in Lehigh Acres on North Avenue at Oaklawn Court. No roadblock, no injuries there. Another on Homestead Road right near the Park Place Apartments. And heading through Maida Lane and Gladiolus Drive, crash getting cleared up right off of US 41, causing some slight delays westbound approaching Summerlin Road. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. We are getting close to that upcoming holiday weekend for your Labor Day. And as we do so, we will be looking at some higher chances for thunderstorms as we work through the remainder of this work week. Higher moisture in the atmosphere will lead to some higher chances for rain and thunderstorms beginning today. And with that more cloud cover, look for a mostly cloudy sky, which will help limit our temperatures into the mid and upper 80s for daytime highs, things topping off near 87 degrees. We'll keep with a few more showers and perhaps some thunderstorms even as we head into later on tonight. Temperatures tomorrow morning wake up near 76 degrees, where a few showers will be possible as we kick off your Friday. An even higher chance for rain and thunderstorms for tomorrow, especially for your Friday afternoon. And we'll be looking at a high near 88 degrees, another mostly cloudy sky. As we head into the upcoming weekend, we'll keep with a daily chance for scattered thunderstorms Saturday, Sunday, and into your Labor Day, with highs bumping back into the lower 90s. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Got friends and family living far away? Tell them to stream the best station yet at rightallalong.net, the online home of 92.5 Fox News.
Hi, this is Earl Ron. I'm the president of New South Window Solutions. What I like people to understand about our company is what's unique about us. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. We go out of our way to make it easy. If you're thinking about buying new windows, consider New South. Don't even think about buying windows from anyone else till you see what our factory can do for you. New South windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers.
Going on now, save 35% off factory direct windows and doors. Call 1-800-NEW-WINDOWS.
Homeowners, you hear the news every day. Rates go up and rates go down. While the economy struggles to recover, rising inflation rears its ugly head. Stop banging your head against a wall. Mortgage rates are again at all-time lows. That's right, rates are at all-time lows. Put a bit of cash back in your pocket with a refi from True Mortgage. Get a 15-year fixed at just 1.75%, 2.140% APR. Even better, True Mortgage will cover your title, escrow, and appraisal fees. Qualification is fast and simple. Keep more of your hard-earned money and boost your savings. Lock in a lifetime of true value today with the lowest rates ever offered at 800-430-3334. That's 800-430-3334. 800-430-3334. Or visit TrueNow.com. Sign on the line. Inc. DBA True Mortgage is located at 100 Spectrum Center Drive, Suite 520, Irvine, California 92618. Equal housing lender. Terms and conditions apply. Based on a loan amount of $400,000. Monthly principal and interest payments. Primary residence only with a 50% loan to value. Not all applicants will qualify. NMLS number MLD 1713.
There are a lot of sales Labor Day weekend, but only Sutherland has the deals. Sutherland's deals not just save you money, they give you money too. With an extra $6,000 over book value for your trade, that's $6,000 more than your car is worth. Use the additional $6,000 as a down payment, or just keep the extra money. Shop the largest certified pre-owned dealer in the country. Nobody has more than Sutherland, because Sutherland has the deals. Just announced through Labor Day Monday. Buy any new Nissan and get a $1,000 Visa gift card. We have the selection, we have the savings, and we give you a $1,000 Visa gift card. Combine that with an extra $6,000 for your trade, and it's up to $7,000 in extra money for you. This Labor Day weekend only, as Florida's #1, Sutherland has the deals. Hurry to Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, your used car megastore. If you don't shop Sutherland, you'll pay too much.
See dealer for details.
Is foot pain making your life miserable? The Good Feet store specializes in foot pain relief. Call 552-FEET or visit us at the Good Feet store in Naples or our newest location in Fort Myers. Or stop in for a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Hi, I'm Ty Laster, managing partner and CEO of Key City Capital. So why are we here in Southwest Florida? Well, at KCAP, our mission is to connect capital to wealth for all of our partners through passive real estate investments. And very simply, we generate and distribute double-digit returns for our investors by investing in single-family homes and apartments and unique alternative cash-flowing asset-backed investments.
Call us today at 239-330-2080 or check us out online today at kcap925.com.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live, drewsteele.com, the website you can watch, and you can subscribe to the podcast, listen at your convenience anytime that you like. Congressman Byron Donalds joining us right now on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. I can tell you that it is only getting worse for the president and for this country, unfortunately, when we hear the news that continues to come out. I know that there are some media outlets, you can even see some of the fake news legacy media outlets that are already trying to avoid the topic of Afghanistan and already tried to pivot. And it is disgusting to see. First of all, good morning. How are you, sir?
Doing good, Drew. How you doing?
You know, I'm trying to keep an eye on everything that has been happening with this administration, certainly as you have been, and the way that, like I said, people are trying desperately to pivot away. You just can't. And as a matter of fact, I think the American people see it. If the polls are any indication, most want him to resign, and even impeachment, the numbers are pretty high. Your thoughts?
Well, I mean, look, first, you're right about the pivot. I mean, MSNBC and CNN already, they're on to flooding in New York City and the Supreme Court ruling on the Texas abortion law. Yep. I mean, it's not even a pivot. They've decided to jump into a completely different arena and just ignore what's going on still on the ground in Afghanistan. I mean, look, it's already the leaks are coming out. The president obviously knew because the president of Afghanistan told him that they were facing a full-on invasion from the Taliban. So his first line of talking about is nobody could have predicted is a flat-out lie. He knew because the President Ghani of Afghanistan told him that the Taliban was moving quickly through the country. They were facing a full-scale invasion. I was involved in a closed briefing, not classified. It was a closed briefing 2 days ago. The Inspector General for Afghanistan told us in a closed briefing that they had sent a red letter report to the White House, to the Department of Defense, to the Secretary of State, to the State Department, saying that if you pulled our military contractors out, that the Afghanistan Air Force would crumble in 3 weeks. This was sent to all the decision makers at the White House, frankly, months before this whole thing fell apart. You have the situation where the intelligence community, that's the cute way we refer to the CIA now. We don't really call them the CIA. We call them the intelligence community. Yeah. Sounds so much better, so much more PC. Yeah. They've been warning for months that if you pull our forces, this place would collapse immediately. Joe Biden knew exactly what was going on this entire time. He did it anyway because he is reckless, he is moronic, he is incompetent, and he does not deserve to be commander-in-chief. And then to be at Dover Air Force Base and to just have the unmitigated gall to check your watch, and then the unmitigated gall to talk about your son, Beau Biden. Let me back up for a moment.
Yeah.
What happened nobody wants to lose a child. I got 3 sons. I don't want to lose my children. But Joe Biden constantly throws Beau Biden out there when he's caught in a hard place and has no area he has nowhere else to go. He throws Beau Biden out there. He throws Beau Biden out there in the face of people who just lost their son
based on or daughter based on a decision that Joe Biden made. And so he wants to try to draw sympathy by bringing up bro Biden. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
The president does not deserve to be commander in chief, period.
Yeah, besides the fact that I think even some of the family members mentioned when he does that, it's not about you. It's about us. It's about this moment. He tries to bring himself into it. And there was, comments about rolling eyes and some other things that family members said, you would never, and I'll say it, a President Trump would never do some of the things. Well, we would never be in this situation to begin with. We had Congressman Mark Meadows on yesterday who talked about specifically, and I know you've had conversations because he mentioned that you both have had conversations about what they were planning to do to begin with, what the former administration had planned, and it was nothing like this. It would never have been like this. You've had those conversations.
Mark Meadows and I have talked about this. I've been in briefings with Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. We've talked about this. Look, the reality is that the Afghanistan Taliban agreement was an agreement of a peace agreement between the Taliban and the Afghani government. Not the way the press likes to talk about it, about a deal with the Taliban. That was not the deal. Number two, there were conditions in the deal. They never met the conditions. So Donald Trump never moved on the conditions of moving out more troops. If they had complied with the conditions in the deal, we probably would have been out last year. But that never happened. Joe Biden knew this. Joe Biden knew what was in that deal. He used the deal as an excuse to do what he's been wanting to do, frankly, for 15 years. People forget that when he was vice president, they had to kick him out of the briefings on Afghanistan because he was advocating for full withdrawal when that was not the conditions on the ground. So when I tell people, like, look, this is different. This is not politics. This is not because Joe Biden is a Democrat and I'm a Republican. This is because Joe Biden has literally lost the respect around the world for our allies. He has lost whatever semblance of respect our enemies had for the presidency of the United States. He's lost that. And you cannot have a commander-in-chief on the world stage that is this weak and is this incompetent. This is not politics. This is reality.
Yeah.
And the reality is that what his decisions and his incompetence overall, and frankly, the inability to actually accept responsibility, even though he throws out the words he is accepting responsibility, damages America on the world stage and on foreign policy conflicts, not only during the remainder of his term, but in years to come.
I wonder if you want to comment on this because America First Legal Stephen Miller was on last night with Tucker Carlson as they were discussing the Afghan refugee situation. And again, let me preface this by saying if you certainly it doesn't make a difference what side of the aisle you're on. The compassion of the American people is clear when it comes to refugees, people who are trying to escape persecution and some of the things that they know are going to take place in Afghanistan. That is not the issue when it comes to refugees as to whether or not we have a heart to take people in. Of course we do. The issue becomes whether or not you're able to vet individuals. Stephen Miller, who was talking about the Afghan refugee situation and how it come to his attention through some people and sources, this discussion about the possibility and looking at the select few that were brought over and how basically they're ghosts. Like they are not on, when it comes to the American government, they don't know who they are. They're not on the rolls. There's nothing that they can see and pinpoint specifically even who they are. They're like ghosts. What are your concerns about that situation specifically and that talk about our safety and security here in the country?
If we're processing people coming out of that area of the world the way we're processing people coming across the southern border, I'm very, very concerned, extremely concerned. This State Department is a joke. I mean, let's be blunt here for a moment. This State Department is run by a bunch of Ivy League academics who do all this stuff looks good in a dissertation, but in the real world just simply does not work. And so the real issue we have here, Drew, is that people who served with our members of the armed forces over in Afghanistan, we actually have their biometric data. So the first line of vetting is actually not that difficult. It's actually quite simple. Yeah. Also considering that we left behind the computer equipment so the Taliban can actually check this stuff too with the people we left behind in Afghanistan. So what they should be doing is holding people outside the country, not bringing them to the United States so quickly. The reason why they're having to do this is because the agreements, to my understanding, that State Department set up with Qatar and other places is only to hold people for like 24, 36 hours and then to bring them directly to the United States. It's not a deep vetting that needs to be happening. We need to do that not only to secure those families, but to secure Americans as well. We need to be doing that. I don't think any of that is happening. But here's the problem, Drew. Nancy Pelosi still has us on recess. We're not holding hearings on any of this stuff. Oversight, we just did a blind briefing on it just because members are like, hey, we got to get some information. We got to tell our constituents something, but they're not doing any real hearings or investigations on this at all. There was a bipartisan briefing yesterday, which was basically a dog and pony show where Milley, Blinken, and Austin just, gave long speeches. There were 4 questions asked, and the call was done. Like, there's nothing in depth happening right now. It is all for show. It is all to check boxes. It is all for smoke and mirrors. But what do you expect from, frankly, the least? I used to think the Obama administration was the least transparent administration. No. This is the least transparent administration I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You get no information out of this White House. You get no information out of state. You get no information out of HHS or out of Homeland. You basically are finding out stuff from the press, and then you're having to go back and ask questions. And Nancy Pelosi, unfortunately, who still runs the House, is not holding investigations. She's not getting to the bottom of this. She's covering and protecting for this president. And especially with this transcript, this phone call that came out between Biden and Ghani. Do you really think if this is a conversation between Ghani and Trump, she wouldn't have hauled I was about to say ass. Well, I should say ass. She would have hauled us back to D.C. immediately to hold hearings in person with the cameras for all to see so she could break down Donald Trump. She's covering and protecting this man. And it's disgusting.
Yeah. Before we go, I have to ask this question because I know you have no problem taking on the tough questions. And I think this is a tough question. And it goes back to something I said before and people texting me and asking me to ask you, and they're frustrated. There's a poll out there, and the American people see this. There's the numbers that we all see about this president and the fact that people want him to resign, impeachment. The numbers are there to say and confirm all of this. But at the same time, you also have the concern of leadership. And people have asked me, and they're concerned about House leadership. They're worried about Mitch McConnell, who is saying, no, we're not even going to be talking about impeachment or anything like that, when you know full well that if any of this would be coming up and the hoaxes that were perpetrated against Donald Trump, that we would be talking about this, and we were talking about it. But now we have actual situations where we do need to have this conversation. So I'm asking you, are you concerned about leadership on the Republican side? Who may want to play out this clock, if it appears, and not talk about this and take a role in pushing this because, they think, I don't know. Is it because you want to tuck this away for 2022 to not get rid of this president now or make a big stink about it now because you want to wait until, I don't understand what the political process would be, but I know you can speak to this and what your thoughts are on it.
Yeah, I'm concerned about Republican leadership on this. I'll admit I am concerned about that because, obviously we're trying to take back the House and take back the Senate in 2022. But a lot of times Republican leadership, in my view, gets caught up in this whole thing of we got to save it for the midterms. But the reality is that if you don't expose these issues as they come, there's not going to be something for the midterms because big media is not covering it, Drew. They've already pivoted. Right. They're already on to the next thing. There's nothing to see here. Joe Biden ended the war, and they've moved on. So I think that we do have to sit down and really dig into this. Now, let me say this. When it comes to asking him to resign, I've done that. Actually, I was one of the earlier members to do that. A lot of members are now calling for his resignation. He's not resigning, but we have to make that point. There are members who are calling for the 25th Amendment. I know Senator Scott's doing that. I know Madison Cawthorn is doing that. They're calling for the 25th Amendment. I doubt this cabinet is going to roll on Joe Biden, even though they probably should. Or frankly, even though they should. Now, to impeachment. To impeachment. What I think is this. We have to make sure we have a real legal argument for impeachment. Now, I know there are people who are going to say, but look what they did to Donald Trump. There was no legal argument. And I agree, there was no legal argument. But I'm also a constitutionalist. And the institution or the protocol of impeachment has to be sound. I'm not into this whole, well, they did it, so now we're going to do it too. That's my stance. We need to explore the legal options for impeachment. We need to explore all this stuff and really come up with a legal case for impeaching Joe Biden. I think if you dig deep enough, there is one. My office, we're already starting to dig into some of this stuff. That's why we've been mostly quiet on impeachment, because we're digging in and trying to get credible stuff about what are the grounds for it, not just saying he's a disaster, he's got to go, let's file the papers. I know there are members who are doing that and signing on to that. I've not signed on to that yet. But my concern is that Republican leadership, this needs to really come from them. This is something that we are pushing on, asking them to make a strong stance with respect to how to deal with Joe Biden. The primary stance has been to this point, let's get Americans out. Okay, well, let's get Americans out, and then after we withdraw, then let's dig in. Well, now we've withdrawn. The time is to really dig in, do the hard work, do the real investigations. My last point on this is that even though the Democrats completely cheapened the impeachment process, especially the second one, that was a complete and flat-out joke. It was purely reactionary. Two things need to be understood. Number one, they have the votes in the House. So we can bring articles. Nancy Pelosi will never hear it. There'll never be a vote. So we'll throw it out there. It'll be a talking point. It'll never get the light of day if you just throw them out there. But number two, with the first impeachment, they actually did go through the process of trying to build a case. As a matter of fact, they spent 3 years trying to build a case and then finally got this phone call. And through all the other investigations, what they did is they dropped all that other stuff into the phone call impeachment article, and that's what they ran with. We don't have any basis of information yet to even begin that process. I think that you got to really dig in, do deep investigations, get key reports, create timelines, build an actual case, and then you file those articles. But I think people need to understand, even if we file them, and they've already been filed, I know Marjorie Taylor Greene's filed them, they're not going to get heard. Nancy Pelosi will not hear them.
Yeah.
I think you got to make a case for it 100%, but there's got to be a credible case for it. It can't just be in reaction to the complete incompetence and atrocity we've seen from Joe Biden. He's the commander-in-chief, unfortunately. His decisions are the ones that get carried out, unfortunately. But the commander-in-chief making a completely disastrous decision, unless there's something else in there that we don't know yet, and this phone call between him and Ghani, in my view, is the beginning of that. That's how you build an argument. If just responding to what he's done as a disaster is not enough with respect to impeachment, in my view.
Yeah.
That's my view.
Yeah. All right, Congressman Byron Donalds joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. I appreciate you, sir. We'll see you soon, okay?
All right. See you, Drew.
239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. Streaming live, drewsteele.com, the website if you'd like to watch. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
Joe Biden's plan for America? Recycled leftovers. Time for some right thinking. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Are you one of the millions of homeowners who haven't refinanced yet? If so, I'm here to tell you it's not too late. Hi, I'm Wesley Hogan with Westland Financial. Although the lowest rates may be in our rearview mirror, as the economy recovers from the biggest economic shock of our lifetime, rates still remain near historic lows. In fact, with the dramatic increase in home values, this may be the perfect time to put that new home equity to work. Take advantage of our cash out refi program and pay off high rate credit cards, car loans, or other high interest rate debt. Or finally make those home improvements you put on hold for so long. Best of all, we can do this with no closing costs. That's right, whether it's a conventional, FHA, or VA loan, we'll pay for your title, settlement, lender, and recording fees. So call Westland at 888-455-3669. That's 888-455-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind. 888-455-3669.
NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender.
Got chronic joint pain, not having enough success with steroids, but trying to avoid surgery? Well, thankfully, there's a better way, and it's now available here from the medical professionals at QC Kinetics, now open in Naples. Hey, it's Drew Steele from Daybreak, talking about all new therapies, advanced all-natural regenerative treatments that can not only just give you relief, but also can restore and repair damaged tissue so you can have lasting relief. If you've got joint pain due to arthritis, knee pain, hip pain, shoulder pain, don't just think the old ways of dealing with pain are the only ways. You need to learn more about these new biologic therapy solutions. Call now for a free consultation. QC Kinetics at 239-893-PAIN. These remarkable treatments increase mobility, decrease pain, and help restore tissue. They actually encourage your body to heal itself. yourself. Call now and learn more about these restorative, regenerative, and revolutionary alternatives. Don't wait. Call today. QC Kinetics at 239-893-PAIN. That's 239-893-PAIN. 239-893-PAIN.
Constant repairs, higher energy bills, and lower air quality can all result from an HVAC system needing an upgrade. At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, we have several options to fit your lifestyle and budget. Visit onehourairnaples.com or call 855-1-HOUR to schedule your AC consultation.
Always on time or you don't pay a dime. Always on time or you don't pay a dime. 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, yeah.
Encore Luxury Cabinets and Design staff have been designing award-winning kitchens and baths for nearly 50 years. Now Encore is proud to offer Foster Appliances, a sophisticated line of chef-grade handmade Italian products just perfect for the home chef and all of us. Encore Luxury Cabinets and Design is proud to be a select area dealer for these hand-built appliances and are in many ways superior to other brand-name high-end cooking appliances. Since 1975, Foster has created top-of-the-line cooktops, ovens, ranges, hoods, sinks, and faucets for residential and commercial use. Their attention to detail and unique accessories enhance the cooking experience, making them a preferred supplier to luxury resorts such as the Ritz-Carlton. Call Encore at 239-331-5287 to schedule a demonstration at their expanded Naples showroom, or visit EncoreCabinetDesign.com for inspirational cabinet designs and appliances for your new home or remodeling project.
Hey, it's Drew Steele talking about my friends at AMCO of Bonita Springs, 992-2626. It's 992-2626. Whatever is going on with your vehicle, they will fix it and fix it right. They are a great conservative business. And I can tell you they have a great local reputation for doing good work. And they also have an awesome customer base. It's been established over the past 13 years. So give them a call at 239-992-2626 so you can arrange to meet with them. Let them know you heard about it right here on 92.5 Fox News and Drew Steele. By the way, talk about great conservatives. They've built the American Spirit Movement, a place where conservative consumers and businesses can connect in 5 critical areas. You know, you've got your vote, but you also have your wallet, the cash register, supporting conservative businesses. So go to the American Spirit Marketplace. You can keep conservative dollars in conservative pockets. Block by block, city by city, states by state. We're going to build this up. Go to the American Spirit Movement website at americanspiritmovement.com. It's more than a conservative movement. It's a conservative awakening.
Imagine replacing your old kitchen with the kitchen of your dreams. Brand new custom-made cabinet doors. Drawer fronts, hand-finished by true
Well, is the little pill working yet?
Men, these days could be a thing of the past. Hello, this is Dr. Lou Spangler at Neogenics. Recent advances in non-surgical treatment for erectile dysfunction, combining high-frequency shockwave therapy with the P-shot, which utilizes platelet-rich plasma, can help restore your virility. These treatments help restore blood flow to the penis and rejuvenate penile tissues, resulting in longer, stronger, firmer, more satisfying erections. Both treatments are simple, in-office procedures, and there is no pain and no downtime. You can resume all normal activities immediately after treatment, including sexual activity. Men, you don't have to suffer anymore. If you have erectile dysfunction or simply want to improve your sexual function, call Neogenics at 239-277-9999 for a free consultation. That's Neogenics at 277-9999. Again, 277-9999.
Nobody wants a middleman coming between you and what is important to your family, like your home's water. And that's why I love Pentair Water Solutions, the pros. You know my buddy Max, and you should call him now and get your free digital Pentair Water diagnosis. So you live in Southwest Florida. You can smell the water coming out of the faucet. It's awful, that chlorine smell, the skin in your hair drying out. It's a mess, and your hard water staining your faucets or shower glass. We've all experienced it here in Southwest Florida. The toughest city or well water issues, don't worry about it. And the middleman issue. Listen, with Pentair, there are no middlemen, no dealers, no distributors. They make the system so you have a Pentair water expert in your home, and you can be assured of the right solution for your water at a true Pentair factory direct price. It's a big difference that you will see for yourself. 239-880-7799. That's 239-880-7799. And this month, you can save up to $600 on softeners and salt-free alternatives. So give them a call today or book online at pentair.com/FortM.
It's unpassable as water poured into train stations, bringing a stop to all subway service. The National Weather Service declared its first ever set of flash flood emergencies for the region and says more than 3 inches of rain was recorded in Central Park in 1 hour last night, surpassing the almost 2 inches Tropical Storm Henri brought last month that was believed to be a record.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Wink News, traffic. Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. We are getting close to that upcoming holiday weekend for your Labor Day. And as we do so, we will be looking at some higher chances for thunderstorms as we work through the remainder of this work week. Higher moisture in the atmosphere will lead to some higher chances for rain and thunderstorms beginning today. And with that more cloud cover, look for a mostly cloudy sky, which will help limit our temperatures into the mid and upper 80s for daytime highs, things topping off near 87 degrees. We'll keep with a few more showers and perhaps some thunderstorms even as we head into later on tonight. Temperatures tomorrow morning wake up near 76 degrees, where a few showers will be possible as we kick off your Friday. An even higher chance for rain and thunderstorms for tomorrow, especially for your Friday afternoon. And we'll be looking at a high near 88 degrees, another mostly cloudy sky. As we head into the upcoming weekend, we'll keep with a daily chance for scattered thunderstorms Saturday, Sunday, and into your Labor Day, with highs bumping back into the lower 90s. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Keeping it right here. We're 92.5 Fox News. And we've been right all along.
It's Big Al from Stevie Tomato's Sports Page. Do you feel American pride and want to shout, God bless America? As a son of immigrants who came through Ellis Island, I stand when the national anthem plays and get emotional thinking of those who have sacrificed for America's greatness. At Stevie's, we're filled with gratitude for our great customers and the country we live in. The firemen, police, emergency service, construction workers, and those who go about each day providing the foundation for our country. We love our customers and express our gratitude with our food, service, and value. Thankful for your dedication for what you do. And to all our great customers, show your love for this great country by going to any Stevie's. Stand at the bar and say loud and clear for all to hear, God bless America, and I'll buy you a 10-ounce beer. Restrictions apply in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. God bless America.
Stevie Tomatoes, Sports Page. Come for the food. Stay for the sports.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere, and Jay will beat it, guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at gooddealsappliances.com.
Good Deals, appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
Lusk, Drasites, and Talisano believes winning cases is no accident. Your case is important. Pick a firm with resources to actually prosecute your case. If your case is accepted, you're guaranteed to not pay a single penny in fees or costs unless you get a favorable settlement or verdict. Lusk, Drasites, and Talisano has over 35 years of experience handling personal injury cases in Florida. Visit ldtlaw.com for a free consultation today. Winning is no accident. Lusk, Drasites, and Talisano. ldtlaw.com. You'd think an Army veteran with a military career including multiple combat deployments throughout the Middle East would be a great American. And you'd be right. But Joe Vanderbosch also happens to be a great dentist. An Army veteran of 8 years, Dr. Joe now makes his home in Southwest Florida, where his wife Sarah grew up.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joseph Vanderbosch, Freedom Dental on Metro Parkway in Fort Myers. In the Army, I received extra training in order to provide dental care in virtually any condition. That's why I can manage many dental treatments without the need to refer to a specialist. I served my country proudly for 8 years. Now I want to serve you and your dental needs. Special discounts for former and active military without dental insurance.
Dr. Vanderbosch provides emergency care and is now accepting new patients for cleaning, extractions, crowns, implants, and more. Find them online at freedomdentalfortmyers.com. That's freedomdentalfortmyers.com. Dr. Joseph Vanderbosch. Go to freedomdentalfortmyers.com.
True relief for back and neck pain. Did you play golf or tennis today and wish that you didn't have to deal with the back or neck pain? Do you feel hesitant to swing all the way through or run across the court because of pain? People just assume they have to live with it or just get epidurals. They are wrong. People look at it from the wrong perspective. Most people only think about treating the symptoms and not the cause. At Johnson Spinal Care 596 Back, we treat the cause using non-surgical spinal decompression. Now available for anyone, not just the injured or professional athletes. Spinal decompression is a safe, non-surgical treatment that takes pressure off the nerves and discs, increasing blood circulation, allowing the back to heal. Safe, long-lasting results for sciatica, stenosis, scoliosis, herniated discs, or even failed back surgery. Don't suffer. Call my Medicare-friendly office today for a free telephone consultation. Johnson Spinal Care, 596 Back, 596 BACK. That's 596-2225.
I'm Harvey Massey. At Massey Services, we know every lawn is unique and requires customized care. That's why our environmental approach includes aeration, which allows water and nutrients to reach the roots of your lawn, as well as an irrigation program which ensures proper coverage and reduces water waste. With Massey's Green Up program, you'll enjoy a healthy and a beautiful lawn year-round. That's Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
After Drew, it's Glenn Beck 9 till noon. You've come to the right place. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live, drewsteele.com, the website Steele has 3 E's. That's where you go to watch this very program. It's right there before your very eyes. You can go to Drew Steele Radio on YouTube as well if you feel like it and you want to go there. There you go. And also, we have our podcast, first 2 hours already up. So if you want to subscribe to the podcast and listen, just type in Drew Steele to your favorite podcast locations or go to drewsteele.com, and right there's a link so you can get to it from there. Top 5 audio clips of the day. It's a 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
Drew's 5 at 8:35. Number 5.
I just was stunned when I heard that. And, so were hundreds, in fact, thousands of Americans who know what's going on the ground there, including many, many Democrats. I cannot tell you how many Democrats I've heard from who say that they regret voting for Joe Biden, that they're ashamed to be American, that never in their lives have they ever felt that sense of shame. Because this is the kind of thing we're talking about, right? There are literally wounded Afghan special operations soldiers who were wounded before we pulled out, who are lying in their hospital beds, waiting to be executed by these Islamic terrorists.
That's just part of the story that Laura Logan was talking about last night on Tucker Carlson's program. The claim that Joe Biden made, that it was an extraordinary success, and obviously the spinning out of this issue and trying to get off the headlines and into the next issue, that she is just saying, listen, I can't tell you how many Democrats that she's heard from who said that they regret voting for Joe Biden, and many people are even calling for resignations and impeachment processes and the like, and it's out there. It's not going away, everybody. That's something that many people are talking about.
Number 4.
At the end of the day, that's what it's about. If you have somebody, particularly if somebody's high risk, and you get infected, okay, what do you do at that point? And there's been a lot of parts of the country, they'll just send you home and tell you, just hope it doesn't get worse. Well, you know what? This is a year and a half into this. We can do better. And so we have a tool where you can do better. So instead of just sending people home and hoping that they don't end up in the ICU, you can actually do something proactively.
There you go. Something proactively. That is the governor of the state of Florida, Ron DeSantis, who was here in Southwest Florida in Lee County, Fort Myers, to be exact, yesterday, talking about monoclonal antibodies and and what they have been able to do in the state and providing it. And again, the question becomes, what are hospitals doing? Are they testing people and finding out they're testing positive, or in other places, and then just sending them off, sending them home and saying, oh, listen, go ahead and just relax, rest a little bit, and try to get better without offering any kind of therapies? Shouldn't that be out there? Shouldn't that be something that we should be pushing so that we don't have people filling up hospital? And I wonder how many people have been doing that, not doing anything.
Number 3.
Say thank you to every past student and colleague and friend who's reaching out right now in support of what is happening. My personal safety and security is obviously my top concern at this moment, but also like they are coming for my job and what I love doing in the classroom, and they are going to run this campaign and get public pressure behind them, and it is very likely that the district will cave in regards to this, and I'm hopeful that they don't, and all support at this moment is greatly appreciated.
Oh boy, that sounds awful. That he's concerned about the district caving. He might lose his job. He's been worried about his personal safety and security. Who is that? Oh, that was the Antifa teacher we told you about yesterday. Remember the Antifa teacher who was telling everybody and bragging, and thanks to Project Veritas exposing the fact that this teacher was bragging that he was giving students extra credit to show up at different locations, places like colleges and school boards and the things like that, and disrupting and being disruptive because he's trying to teach kids about Antifa, and proudly displays an Antifa flag in his classroom and everything else. Now he's upset because he's been exposed, and he's worried about losing his job. He's worried, everybody, that could possibly be happening. Okay.
Number 2.
And my sources inside of government are very clear that most of these individuals, when you run a background check, it comes up blank. They're ghosts. Nobody knows who they are. Of course, if they'd worked for the U.S. government, when you take their fingerprints, it'd come up right away. But there's no matches because they didn't work for the government and nobody knows who they are. But it gets worse. I have also been informed very credibly that this is the beginning, not the end, of the refugee resettlement operation.
Is this true? This is Stephen Miller on with Tucker Carlson last night as they were talking about the vast majority of Afghans evacuated never working for the U.S. We have been told about how people are being treated and how this country has to take in refugees, no questions asked. Well, questions need to be asked, and Stephen Miller is saying there are many questions. And you just heard about what he's finding out. They're ghosts. They don't exist. They haven't worked for the U.S. government. Who are they? Where are they? Where are they going to be? Why is this administration allowing this to happen?
Number 1.
Was the president in any way pushing a false narrative in that call with the Afghan president?
I think it's pretty clear. Again, I'm not going to go into details of a private conversation, but what we saw over the course of the last few months is a collapse in leadership. And that was happening even before Ghani left the country. What the president has conveyed repeatedly, privately, and publicly is you need to stand up and lead your country. And that's something he said at a press conference in July in public forum as well.
Yeah, there's Psaki. We're not talking about this phone call. No, we're not going to do that. Nobody would ever do anything like that. Nobody would ever go into a personal phone call, a leader that's talking to another leader about yeah, we're not going to do anything like that.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Which is pretty funny, considering that's exactly what they did with the Ukraine phone call, the perfectly fine phone call from the former president of the United States to the leader there in Ukraine. Somehow, they're just, we're not going to talk about this. That's right. So they're going to spin their way out of this, or at least try to. And again, hopefully there'll be some journalism going on instead of journalizing. You would like to believe that there are those that still do that, and maybe investigate and look into this further and not try to get out of the headlines now and make it seem as if that Afghanistan's done. Nothing else to talk about. We're gone, everybody. Everything is fine. Everything is good. Nothing to see here. Move along. It's off the headlines. No, we're not going to allow it to be off the headlines, especially considering this montage that you have here of the leadership, Austin and Milley and Psaki and Biden all talking about what was going on, the lies perpetrated by this administration. It starts with going back to February.
The United States will not undertake a hasty or disorderly withdrawal from Afghanistan. We are committed to a responsible and sustainable end to this war.
Really?
While preventing Afghanistan from becoming a safe haven for terrorist groups.
We seek to bring a responsible end to the conflict, to remove our troops from harm's way, and to ensure that Afghanistan can never again become a haven for terrorists that would threaten the United States.
Yeah. General Miller and General McKenzie will be able to do so in a safe, orderly, and effective way.
Yeah. We'll not conduct a hasty rush to the exit. We'll do it responsibly, deliberately, and safely.
They will do it safely. They will do it orderly.
Really?
And they will do it deliberately.
Really?
And they will do it in lockstep with our allies.
We plan to retain an embassy on the ground of Kabul and on the ground in Kabul.
We're not withdrawing. We're staying. The embassy is staying. Our programs are staying. If there is a significant deterioration in security, that could well happen. We've discussed this before. I don't think it's going to be something that happens from a Friday to a Monday.
I met with the Afghan government here in the White House, in the Oval. I think they have the capacity to be able to sustain the government. The likelihood there's going to be the Taliban overrunning everything and owning the whole country is highly unlikely.
Whoa. That was from February until August. Yeah, a lot of things come to mind. I don't know, incompetent, resignations, impeachments. Yeah, none of that, though. Resignations and impeachments, none of that is going to happen. But the good news is that we, and along with others, will continue to watch and keep an eye on what is happening here. And just like Congressman Byron Donalds brought up earlier, listen, if you're going to talk about impeachment, you got to build a case. And there are people looking and building a case. It needs to happen. We keep an eye on it. 239-479-5592. Hey, by the way, that was in the news. I don't know if we heard about that earlier, the issues of vaccine passports, vaccine mandates, businesses. Hey, if you're a business in Florida and you're requiring your employee to show a vaccination, proof of vaccination, customers or members of the public, you're going to face a $5,000 fine, according to a new Department of Health rule here in the state of Florida. So not so fast when it comes to that issue, as far as that happening and people looking out for that, the governor looking out for that. We're going to talk about that more coming up tomorrow. And then a couple of other things that I wanted to make mention of that I think is important before we go to break, and it's this. You know, when it comes to what we've seen with the vid, what we have seen with public health policy, what we've seen when it comes to vaccinations and mask mandates and whether or not you should or should not vaccinate, or mask mandates or no mask mandates, and therapeutics, and looking at hydroxychloroquine or ivermectin or even monoclonal antibodies, any of that, and the shutting down of our lives and how they've been affected since the start of this, knowing full well what we know now, 18 months later, what we know about the vid, what we know about therapies and therapeutics, what we know about vaccines, and what is being discussed as opposed to what is not being discussed. There's one thing that is certain. Lives are being affected by this in ways that we can't imagine. And one of the most upsetting things that I've heard today and others have been talking about and disclosing to me is something that popped up on my Twitter feed this morning. It's a current affairs commentator in the UK. And it was a story that, and actually a phone call that went to a TV station in the UK, and a heartbreaking, heart-wrenching phone call that I'm going to play right now and that I want you to listen to, and this is critical, because this is the side of what has been happening with healthcare across the globe and the issues that we have brought up time and time again since the start of this process that people don't want to talk about enough. And some of the ancillary things that are going on when it comes to lockdowns, when it comes to treatments and those that would want to call for, and Don Lemon and others that are saying, listen, if you're not vaccinated, you shouldn't have the right to go to hospital. And then when you hear this story, as they were talking about on this TV network in the UK, about the effects of this specifically. And I want you to listen to this, and it's hard to listen to because you may know somebody else that's in this same situation. Listen.
So I rang up the doctor for an appointment. I was categorically refused an appointment and told to take a photograph and send it in. I'm sorry, but I get a bit emotional. I then took the photograph and sent it in, and to my delight, they rang me back a few hours later and said, the doctor said, you've got an infection, we'll give you some antibiotics. I took the antibiotics, obviously, for over a week, and several weeks later, my wife said to me, you need to ring the doctor again, it's getting worse. So I rang the doctor again to be categorically told that the doctors wouldn't see me. I then said to them, I've been double jabbed, I'll wear a mask, I'll even wear rubber gloves, but I insist on seeing a doctor. Anyway, they did see me this time, and they referred me to have a biopsy done, of which they told me it was cancerous. And I was then referred to Leicester Royal Infirmary, where I was told because of the delay it was inoperable and I've got less than 12 months to live unless I have therapy. I'm now having therapy, but I'm in terrible pain. And it's just disgraceful. If the doctor had seen me back in February, I'm sure they could have been able to operate and remove it. I've since shown that photograph to many medical professionals, and none of them can believe that I wasn't referred directly to dermatology to have it inspected.
It's hard to listen to, especially when you consider how many people here in this country have fallen under the same fate. And I just wanted to play that because, again, there are ways and things that are happening that you can't explain that are happening to individuals that shouldn't be happening. And that the effects of all the things that are going on go deep. All right, 239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live, truesteele.com, the website. The Steel has 3 E's. Let's find out how the remainder of the forecast is shaping up today with Week News meteorologist Casey Sherman.